off Friday.
Where am I going?
Aztecs play Boise State at 5 p.m., which means pregame coverage begins at 3. You've got the long weekend. Take Aaron somewhere.
I know.
Where do you want to go?
That's a good question,
Seriously,
John.
go to Palm Springs.
Maybe.
Get away. I'm serious.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But
maybe warmer.
I got to make sure that she can get off work too.
Okay,
so that's a little bit of an
Friday
issue.
night.
I completely blanked and I didn't realize that Friday's game was at 5.
Yes.
I'm just in like autopilot mode.
You're thinking nighttime.
I'm like Saturday's nighttime, 7 p.m. Saturday's nighttime, 7 p.m. And I didn't read your text that you sent me yesterday. And it kind of hit me this morning like, oh, that's right.
Let's talk about this.
There's a game on Friday.
So listen to this, Brent. So Friday, okay, all good. San Diego State, Boise State, 5 o'clock Friday. Great. We'll be there. I'll be there. Brent's working.
Mm-hmm.
Jim's off, as he would normally be in that circumstance. Makes sense. Now, I'm traveling Thursday because the game's on Friday. And I think the plane leaves at something like 2 o'clock Pacific. So I'm not on the show. The worst case scenario is not the Dodgers winning the World Series. It's the Dodgers winning the World Series in 5 games. Because if the Dodgers win it in 5 games, it's you guys. I am wiping my hands clean of that for the entire offseason. You could talk about it on Halloween. Okay, you guys cover it if they win in 5. Now, if they win in 4, I'm here Wednesday.
I'll come in as a Grim Reaper.
Dude, you're going to need to be something for our listeners if that does happen. Now, who knows? We'll see. Game 3 is tonight. You know, we're going to talk about a lot here today. There's a ton to get into. There's Scott Boras on Juan Soto. There's Juan Soto's future. What are you laughing at?
It'd have been funny if, like, we have nothing to talk about today.
No, there's a ton to
talk. We're not talking about anything today.
No, there's a ton to talk about today. Again, Juan Soto's future. Would Soto still be here if Peter Seidler was still here? But I was thinking about this before Game 3, where the Yankees now need to pull the inside straight. They need to win 4 of the next 5 games. I mean, the odds of it obviously aren't great. They are favored tonight for whatever it's worth at home in Game 3. Here's what I was thinking about. The 93-win year, all the great moments, and there were a lot of them. The postseason series win, the series against the Dodgers, which was good and competitive, despite the way it ended. And maybe we've already made this point, Jim. There is no special season with the Dodgers winning the World Series. In fact, it becomes a disaster of a season. Like two things, you can't have both. You cannot have a special season if the Dodgers win the World Series, and the Dodgers right now have a very high likelihood of winning the World Series. So, and I don't know if we were calling it a special season anyway, but it can't be a special season if the Dodgers win the World Series. There's no way to get around that.
Nope. I already kind of
wipe that clear.
Axed the special season stuff. Like, it is a very good season for the Padres, a season that hopefully sets them up for next year and the year after and the next couple of years. But it ceased to be a special year once they choked in the division round against the Dodgers.
I agree.
That's it. Like, it. I know there will be some people out there that, and it's okay, thinking that this season was special. I'm here to tell you, I personally think that it wasn't. I personally think that that how it ended kind of stopped all that talk. They needed to at least make it to the NLCS, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
At least make it further than they did. Too. Like, can you get it to a Game 6? Can you be on the doorstep of a World Series? Like, they weren't close to that. So it has gone from the potential of a special year to, like, absolute disaster if you're a Padres fan within a matter of a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I'm thinking about how good of a regular season it was. And it was. They don't win 90 games. I mean, they hadn't won 93 games in 25 seasons. That's a long time. But a lot of it is contingent on, what your division. I don't care if it's a rival or not, but the way Padres fans focus on the Dodgers, rightfully so. Padres have put themselves in a position over the last 5 seasons where they're both viable, both of these teams. But there's no Ohio State special season when Michigan wins a national championship.
No.
There's no Duke special season when North Carolina's in the Final Four and you're not in the NCAA tournament.
No.
Or you're only in the Sweet 16. So you can't have both. Now, if the Dodgers were to win the World Series, and we need to prepare ourselves for that possibility, they're up 2 damn games to none. If it happens, it's not the end of the story. I mean, it's a soap opera sports. Things change. That's just inevitably what occurs. Dodgers could win more World Series, or they could not. Padres could get to a World Series, or they could not. So it's a soap opera. It's as the world turns. So it's not like the final statement in baseball history is what the Dodgers do this year. It's not, but you know what it is? it's an off season of discussion. It's something you can't escape, and it's something we're going to unfortunately have to wrap our heads around for the next 365 plus days, if in fact they do win the World Series.
So like you, I'm a little like loopy today for some reason. Maybe it's a Monday. Maybe it's a Monday thing.
I think it's just everything.
It's a lot. It's an everything thing.
Yeah.
You're right. We haven't been on the radio since the walk-off grand slam in game 1, right?
There was the walk-off grand slam in game 1 for the first time in baseball history. There was, I mean, honestly, the Yankees completely shot themselves in the foot in game 1. Did they not?
Yeah. My point was going to be this. There is
no shot
in hell that if you lose the way you lose game 1, you come back and win the series.
True.
I'm sorry. I hate it. I'm sorry. I hope I am proven wrong. I hope I eat my words here. But
no, I want to speak that to existence so it gets reversed.
But there is no way in hell you lose the way you did in game 1. Walk-off grand slam. There's only 3 other walk-offs in World Series history. Trailing. Carter, Gibson, Freeman.
Carter was trailing?
Game 7.
Game 6.
Or was it game 6 or 7? Game 6. And then Gibson game 1.
Okay. That's it.
And then Friday night,
3 days ago?
Freddie Freeman.
How do you get over that?
You don't. And it went into game 2. Game 2 was, it felt like a much bigger win than the score had, which was 4-2. It felt like a 10-1 win. I mean, there was no part of that game where I was like, oh, Yankees are going to win this. They had that Soto home run that was nice, but they had 1 hit leading up to the 9th inning. Did they load the bases in the 9th? Because we were on the air. They loaded the bases in the 9th. With 2 outs.
Yeah.
But
they didn't have a Freeman moment.
No, they did not. They brought in Vesia to face, I think, Volpe. I forget who.
Dude, the bottom of their lineup.
First pitch, lazy fly out to center field. Like, it wasn't as dramatic, obviously, as game 1.
I mean, I hate to put it this bluntly, but the Dodgers, I don't care who wins the series. The Dodgers have a better roster than the Yankees. They just do. Their lineup is better. The bottom of the Yankees lineup isn't very good. When Yamamoto pitches the way he's been pitching. Now, things can change. We've seen venues mean something for some teams. It's not over, but I tend to agree with you. How can you lose in that manner? And to go back to Friday night as well, for one moment, before the Grand Slam, as big as it was, I have no problem with walking bets, none. But what I do have an issue with is the Yankees gave away essentially a base on the base that cost them the game. There was a throwback
in game 1 and game 2.
And there was a throwback into second that got away, allowed Ohtani to go to third. He scored on a sac fly. I don't even think you're in that situation, potentially, if not for what happened there earlier in the game in the 8th or the 9th inning. So whatever, it's crying over spilled milk. The point is the Dodgers lead the series 2-0 and are extremely likely to win the World Series. And if and when that happens, we need to wrap our arms around the idea that does impact the Padres season. It just does, and they'll be asked about it repeatedly. And when spring training will start, the Dodgers will have been World Series champs. So again, I said a couple of days ago, just root for the Yankees. Well, guess what? I've been rooting, and it hasn't worked. So then what are we going to do now if that doesn't happen? I don't know. I honestly don't know, Jim. I mean, again, it is the soap opera. Other teams have won. You've been a fan of the Warriors when a rival is won, or the Niners when a rival, but it goes on and things change.
Yeah, you can't look. You would love the Yankees if you're obviously a Padres fan. Yeah. And I think it's just a baseball fan. You want this to be a good series. No one wants to see a 5-game series,
or a 4-game series
where either team wins in 5. Like, you want to see this go minimum 6, get it back to LA. Everybody would love a game 7. The ratings have been through the roof already for games 1 and game 2. You need this to go long if you're baseball. You want this to go long because that's just, they got their dream matchup. The worst thing in the world would have it to be over very quickly. But wrapping your head around the Dodgers winning the World Series, like, it's just, you just move on.
Right.
You know, like, is everybody in this town, every Padres fan, us, like, are we going to get trolled? Yeah. I see it every day after every single Dodgers win in this postseason, on our Instagram page, on our YouTube pages, on our social media.
Yeah, I know.
We are getting trolled.
Oh, yeah, we're getting hit left and right.
Death.
We really are.
Trolled to death.
Keep the engagement coming.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, because like 90% of the quote-unquote trolls, like, either 1, don't know how to spell, or 2, have really, like, lame comebacks or whatever. But I think it's funny. It's interesting. I sit there, we text it back and forth, and we laugh at it. So keep it coming. But
Please.
Everybody around here is going to have probably some really thick skin for the next, at least 4 months until we get back to baseball season, and just like kind of brush it off because there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do here. It sucks. You hate seeing the Dodgers if they win their first legit World Series title since 1988. But, they were, I was thinking of this. They were bound to win one eventually. There's no way that a franchise like the Dodgers, who spend $1 billion in the offseason, isn't going to eventually win one.
Well, it's like the more times you get in, like that Braves team that got in 15 straight years, they got one.
They're going to win one.
Yeah, no, there's no question, and we'll see if it comes to fruition or not. And now here's what I'm wondering. I don't think it happens in San Diego. I think sometimes something like that happens. You put so much into your team, you don't win, and then the team that went through you wins. Like, does it create any? I've even felt it since the Padres lost. Does it create any apathy? Like, I just want, the Southwest ads want to get away.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like if you're a Padres fan, and I get it, I felt that in the immediate aftermath of 2 Fridays ago when they lost in Game 5. I'm like, want to get away? Like, There's no good here. There's no way to spin this.
And what will make it even worse, if the Dodgers end up winning this in 5. Or they win it in 6 and they never trail in the series.
Right.
Then it's going to be the Padres were the team that had the best shot to take out the Dodgers. And they had them foot on their throat and they let them get away.
Thanks, Manny, for throwing the ball. I'm kidding.
No. My point is like, it just like to the how we started the show with, Dodgers winning the World Series kind of makes everything feel worse in retrospect for a Padres season that was really, really good. It's going to feel the same way. Like, man, that Padres-Dodgers series did almost feel a little bit, even though it was in the division round, like whichever one of these teams gets out of this
is going to win the World Series.
Probably going to win the World Series because they felt like those were the 2 best teams in the postseason.
Well, at least Juan Soto isn't going to go to LA, right?
Oh,
all right. The latest on Juan Soto on the other side, plus tickets to give away for San Diego State San Marcos men's basketball at Viejas on Wednesday. Plus, we have Snow Jam tickets. Also, Aztec wide receiver Nate Bennett will join us at 4 p.m. ahead of San Diego State Boise State Friday night on the Blue. This is Jon Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim. We've been telling you about our friends at Jamul Casino. Tonight is the night to get out there. They've got great Monday Night Football promotions. Of course, there's also Game 3 of the World Series. So if you've been looking for a night to get out there, this is the night to do it tonight at Jamul Casino.
Yeah, they have winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Players can earn entries all month long by playing and getting 2-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
You need to check out Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. They've got great food throughout Jamul Casino, but you need to check out Tony Gwynn Sports Pub for the food, for the beverages, all the televisions. They have amazing Tony Gwynn sports memorabilia as well. And then Jamul Casino is endless dining 5 nights a week. Get there this weekend. They've got a Saturday surf and turf buffet going over the top with perfect combinations of succulent steaks, delectable seafood, and more.
Yeah, it's the sports equinox, John. So if you want to go watch a sporting event, you can watch all of them at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub tonight at Jamul Casino. Great food, great atmosphere. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
All right, listen to this. All this week, win a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024, Del Mar Fairgrounds, November 8th through the 10th. Discover an extensive collection of alpine skis, snowboards, boots, bindings, gloves, goggles, and everything else you need for a fantastic winter season. With competitive prices that rival online deals, mark the calendars November 8th. Get ready for an amazing winter experience at Snow Jam San Diego.
Can I read this text, John?
Yeah, please. How can people text us, Jim?
70470. Start your message with team, TEAM.
Okay.
619 number says, you two are still the bitter exes who can't fathom having a happy life unless your ex is miserable, the Dodgers, after the breakup.
I would agree with that.
This is, okay. Real life is not the same as like sports. So
sports sometimes can feel more real.
Yeah. So I can move on with my life if my ex is happy and as if I'm happy, like we're moved on. It's a little different when it comes to sports. You always want the team that you hate to lose. You think that you had a great example. You think that Michigan fans are sitting there when Ohio State wins being like, oh, it's fine. No. You think Ohio State's fans are okay with Michigan winning the national championship last year? Like, no.
Now, again, it's a different climate. Padres, Dodgers, Michigan, Ohio State. Okay. No, but it is them. I think most agree. And I even think Dodger fans in their hearts of hearts, if they look in the mirror, if they see the way it's played out over the last 5 years, would say it's been a really good series. It's been entertaining. It's been talkable. It's been topical, is what it's been. So, of course, it's not Duke, Carolina, Michigan, Ohio State. Shoot, it's not Giants, Dodgers, truthfully. No. In terms of its overall long-term relevancy. But in the here and now, it's been good.
The recency of this rivalry for the last 5 years has been better than
Giants, Dodgers. They had that one amazing year. Both those teams were great one year.
2021.
And they played each other. That's the only time they've ever met in the postseason, those two teams.
I know.
And the Padres have met the Dodgers 3 times.
Yeah. So, I guess the last 3 years. Because 2020, I'm not counting.
Yeah, it's fine.
2021,
last 3 plus years,
and then this past year, 2 of the last 3 seasons you met in the postseason. Padres won, Dodgers won. It's sports, bro. Mm-hmm. This ain't real life. It's sports. I don't like when a team I don't like wins. Just the same as they don't like when we win. Mm-hmm. Do you think that Dodger fans would be happy if the Padres were in the position the Dodgers in right now? No.
They'd pretend like it didn't impact them because it impacts them.
Yeah, and then they would troll and troll and troll until
we have this many, you only have one.
Exactly. Like, oh, congratulations, you guys finally got one.
Got off the schneid.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
Sports are just completely different than real life. Don't compare the two. Right. Especially when the whole, I see a lot like you guys are just bitter about your exes or whatever whatever it is. I'm like, dude, this is freaking sports, bro. Of course, I hate the Dodgers. Do you think I'm sitting here being like, man, that move that Dave Roberts made was brilliant in game 2?
No,
I'm like, no.
I agree with you. So that's one part of it. Okay, if the Dodgers win the World Series, geez, we need to live with it.
Yeah.
But the insult to injury, so to speak, is what Scott Boras has been saying over the last 48 hours. So Scott Boras, whose primary client this offseason is Juan Soto, and you're trying to drive up the price, right? You're trying to get multiple bidders. He could be $500-600 million player. Scott Boras, for whatever reason, has gone back down this well. Now, he said this after the passing of Peter Seidler at some point this past offseason, but he went even further in this weekend when he said this. If Peter Seidler were still alive, none of this would be happening. Juan would have been with the Padres. He never would have been traded to the Yankees. He'd be a Padre today. He also went on to say this. Peter and I were knee-deep in Soto discussions about a contract, well advanced. His illness really stopped the process because we know the organization would have been different. He wanted to push it through even though he was ill. Now, I don't know if that would have been good or not for the organization long-term, but when you hear it when Juan Soto's in the World Series and when you hear it when Juan Soto might be linked to the Dodgers this offseason, it just feels even more cruel when I hear it directly from his agent.
So when you have such a high-profile athlete entering free agency like Juan Soto, and you have such a high-profile agent like Scott Boras, you're games away from this being the biggest offseason for him and maybe baseball, one of the biggest contracts in baseball
history,
other than Ohtani. That was just, this past offseason, right? You don't think that there's going to be a little like, I don't know,
Gamesmanship
here.
I do.
And some not truthful things being
Potentially.
said. I think it's I'm not going to say wrong of Scott Boras, but there is a little like, dude, what are you bringing up Peter for?
I was going to say, would you do it at the expense of Peter who passed? Would you actually
Yeah,
angle and use Peter's name if it wasn't being honest?
I think the Padres would have re-signed Juan Soto? I do not.
Even with Peter representing ownership?
Yes, I do not.
Even with Peter making such a strong play for Manny, maybe even going above the front offices.
Right. I don't think that there was going to be a contract had. And
certainly not last offseason.
No, and we've talked to Kevin multiple times about this, and Dennis has talked about multiple times about this as well, that there was always a plan of trading off Juan Soto in this offseason because they didn't make the postseason and because of how things went and because they needed so much help for the rest of their roster that Juan Soto was the chip that they could use to get that help. I don't for a second really believe Scott Boras. I mean, maybe there's some truth here, and I think there maybe could be truth in that Peter wanted Juan Soto to stay. Absolutely. We all wanted Juan Soto to stay. I wanted Soto to stay.
In real time.
You wanted Soto to stay.
Definitely did.
I'm sure he also wants Soto to stay as well. But I don't believe for a second that they were like right at the goal line to get a deal done. I think this is
advanced, even a year before free agency.
There was nothing reported on a well-advanced contract that was about to happen. It was only being reported that the move was going to be that they were going to trade Juan Soto. I think this is kind of, I'm not saying disgusting, but it feels icky. It feels kind of weird when you're bringing up somebody who passed and
they can't even speak for themselves.
Can't speak for themselves and potentially making this out to be a negotiation play.
Yeah, and let me get this right. Coming off an 82-80 season with the Padres, a year before the free agency that he's been waiting for his entire career, he was going to lock in long-term with the Padres. That's not what we were told in real time.
Boras clients never
lock in long-term. And why would his number one client ever be the one guy to do it?
No. You saw how the 2022 season played out. It played out that there was friction everywhere. 2023. Yeah. There was friction everywhere. There wasn't like
the time to extend him.
Come on, man.
It didn't make sense.
And
they lowered their payroll $96 million this past offseason. So they were going to go extend Juan Soto. That wouldn't have lowered their payroll at all. All right, speaking of Juan Soto, let's hear from Jeff Passan, MLB Insider, ESPN. Is Juan Soto staying in New York potentially or going to the Dodgers potentially? You'll hear from Jeff Passan on the Michael Kay Show earlier today. Don't go anywhere. It's Shawn and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive. Aztecs, they lost homecoming night. They lost on homecoming night to Washington State 29-26. They're 3-4 on the year. Next up, tough matchup is they'll take on Boise on the road Friday night, 5 p.m. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Moving over to baseball, Jackson Merrill over the weekend was named the MLB PA NL Rookie of the Year. In World Series Game 3 tonight, 5:08 first pitch at Yankee Stadium. Dodgers, Yankees. Yankees now trail that series 2-0. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
All right, Aztec receiver Nate Bennett, he caught a trick play touchdown, his first career as an Aztec in that loss to Washington State. The is coming up at 4 p.m. We're talking about the future for Juan Soto because, to your point, free agency begins 5 days after the World Series, which means free agency can begin in 7 days if the Dodgers win the next 2. So it's going to begin at some point in the next 7 to 12 days. And Jeff Passan, okay, you know Jeff Passan, right?
I know Jeff Passan.
Yeah, I mean, not personally, but kind of. You guys are boys. He goes on the Michael Kay show in New York. Michael Kay calls Yankees games on television locally. And he's asked specifically about Juan Soto's future and could he go off to L.A. in free agency. Listen to this.
There are reports today, Jeff, that the Dodgers will go hard after Soto. Do you believe that to be true?
Nope.
You do not?
I think they'll have conversations, but there are a couple of things going on here. Let's just look at it like this, guys. Shohei Ohtani's contract. It's 10 years and $700 million. It's the biggest guarantee in North American sports history. But because of all that deferred money, it's actually a really good deal for the Dodgers. Mookie Betts' 12-year, $365 million contract has a chunk of deferred money itself. And when you look at the average annual value of that, that's a really good deal. Freddie Freeman's deal, really good. Like, the only time the Dodgers have gone and paid retail on a guy is for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And maybe because he was 25 and Soto's going to be 26, that suggests that they make exceptions for guys who are younger. But the truth of the matter is, I think that if Juan Soto signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers, there would be a feeling of great imbalance in this sport. And so beyond the fact that I don't think he wants to go to California, he's done that. It's a really, really long way from the Dominican Republic. And that he likes New York. Yes, there will be conversations because, of course, there will be conversations. There have to be conversations. You'd be dumb if you're the Dodgers not to inquire about Juan Soto. But sign him. At the end of the day, I just don't see that happening. And to me, it's what I said on your show earlier this year. I think it's going to come down to Yankees Mets.
So when
The part that I LOL'd at was when he said the perception of an imbalance if he goes to the Dodgers. Like, the perception of imbalance, didn't that happen this past offseason? You just gave a dude $700 million and nobody's ever made more than like 300.
And you deferred all of it to like 2040.
And then they doubled down the Yamamoto deal, and then they doubled down the Hernandez deal, and the Betts deal, and the Freeman deal. These aren't cheap deals.
No.
So this puts it over the top. If they land Juan Soto, it's not fair. It's already. Look what they're doing.
And the part in there that Jeff talks about, he's already done the West Coast thing and he wants to be closer to family. That then ties into kind of the BS part about
the Boras line,
the Boras stuff, saying, hey, he was really close to signing with the Padres. If Peter were still here, like,
so only one can be true.
Yeah. So that's not use Peter's name as a negotiation tool. Okay, he's not here anymore. He's passed away. That's not a cool thing to do, buddy. Let's not use that as a way to negotiate a mega contract this offseason. You don't need that. It's Juan Soto. It speaks for himself. He's going to get a contract with either the number 5 or the number 6 in the front of it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So once again, using Peter's name as a potential negotiation tactic just completely feels wrong to do, even
I agree.
though this has been said by Boras earlier this past year. Still, even then, it feels like, dude, come on, man. You're using Peter's name and he can't defend himself. Do you think he would have been saying the same thing if Peter were still here?
No.
Exactly.
No, I don't. And now listen, I understand Scott Boras drumming up interest, but don't bring Peter into it unless you're being 100% factual and accurate. And even then, he's not there to speak on what you're speaking on.
Now, he did say earlier this past year, whenever it was reported, he's like, I have text messages.
Yeah, he may. I mean, Peter was quoted by Marty as saying, you can't take it with you to the grave. And I'm not scared of big contracts. He did say that, and he backed it up in action, like the Machado extension. Whether we liked it or not, he put the money out there often. There was a brief period in time, where the Padres were a top 2 spender in the game. That feels like forever ago and will never come back. No. The only reason that happened was because of Peter, and even with their TV deal, it still was likely a losing money proposition. I think that's fair to say. Yeah. And we're never getting back there. But to Boras's point, he's got to drum up interest. But here's the other thing that needs to be said. There's no way he's not. The odds are he's going back to the Yankees. And if it's not the Yankees, it's the Mets. Mm-hmm. You don't go to the World Series in your one season with Juan Soto and be like, you know what, it was fun. That your fan base is clamoring for his
It was overrated.
Return. Aaron Judge's postseason has left a lot to be desired. Juan Soto's year, his only year in pinstripes, they're in the World Series. They haven't been getting there every year over the last 15 years. With New Yorkers, texting in and on social media, the New York Yankees aren't going to bring back Juan Soto. That to me would be very surprising.
Every Yankees fan would riot.
Yeah.
If they didn't bring back Soto for whatever the cost. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if he cost $600 million or $550 million or $650 million. Yankees fans only care that he remains in pinstripes.
Boras has the dream scenario. He's coming off a good year in New York. Go create some fake interest elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And put it to them, so to speak, knowing that they'll sign the bottom line.
And the fake interest part is the part that if you're a Padres fan makes you cringe and you hate it because he's using Peter's name to create that fake interest, even if it may be slightly a bit true, right? Maybe they did talk. Maybe they were I want Soto to be here.
Yeah.
But there was also reports that the whole time it was like they were going to trade Soto even if Peter was here.
When he was here, you're right. In August and September of that year, when we knew the trend lines were terrible. August specifically, they were like 8-20.
Yeah.
The season was over. We knew it. And there were reports out there that they're going to have to figure out the financials.
Yeah. And they made their bed once they signed Bogarts. Bogarts was the move that kind of broke the straw on the camel's back of keeping Soto for 3 years.
Yeah, you were never going, let's just throw it out there. 550 Soto, 350 Machado, 340 Tatis, 280 Bogarts. That's not even realistic.
$100 million for Musgrove, $100+ million for Darvish.
But you're $1 billion plus in on 4 position players, which is something that the Dodgers maybe can do. But even with that, they've deferred the entire contract for Shohei Ohtani. Let's go to the phones if you want to weigh in. 877-767-4760. Dave, we appreciate it. You're on with Jon and Jim. What's up, Dave?
Okay, so Scott Boras needs to get the archives from the Union Tribune.
Okay.
And it was reported before Peter passed. It wasn't that long before, but after the TV deal, it fell through. It was reported, and Peter said the Padres were going to have to seriously look at their spending and their finances because of the revenue issues. Now, Scott Boras is either being a liar or he's ignorant or both. I don't know which one of the two it is, but that puts the end to him. Go get the archives, send it to him. Question for you boys before I go. I have not heard anything from the Padres relative to where they stand with television revenue at this point, given the fact we've gone through an entire MLB season. It would be nice to know if they would ever let us know where do they stand revenue-wise on television, because that's a big part of why we're having to go through these exercises now of how much they have to spend or not spend. We've lost that TV revenue. Very important. Have you guys heard anything?
We'll see if we can get an answer on it. Here's what we do know. That they got $60 million per year as part of their Bally Sports agreement, which I want to say is roughly, I forget, what are the Dodgers getting? We could Google it. It wasn't even close when they were getting $60 million, right? Like the Dodgers were still getting, I'm making this up, it's something like 3 to 4 times the money per year. And now that they don't have the $60 million TV deal, let's just cut it in half. And that's probably way too optimistic. They went from 60 to 30, as in the gap's only widened between themselves and the Dodgers with the money coming in. But there was always a gap. You always had to get creative. Outside the 1 year they were a top 2 spender in baseball, you always had to get creative. Look at this past year. The Dodgers ran circles around the Padres in spending. Yet, in real life, the Padres led a series 2-1, playing for a series win at home. So you're going to have to beat them even if you can't beat them in the wallet.
I do think things would have been different if they didn't have such a horrific 2023 season. I think if they made the postseason and made a run in the postseason, then maybe this I guess tactic that Boras is using here for Soto, using Peter's name, may lend to be more believable.
Right.
Like, hey, they just made a postseason run. Maybe they made back-to-back NLCSs. Hell, maybe they made a World Series, but they didn't win. And then everything transpired in the postseason. Maybe I might believe him more, but I mean, the way that season panned out really changed the trajectory of the franchise. And yes, Peter's passing as well, but I do think if you talk to people in the know, they would tell you, even if Peter were still here, it would kind of be down the same path of what they did this past offseason.
By the way, to answer some of Dave's point, the Dodgers TV deal, just listen to this, is 25 years, $8.35 billion.
Oh,
That is $334 million a year. The Padres' current TV deal might pay them nothing. It's more than that, but it's pennies on that dollar. If they're getting 334 and you're getting 30, that's tenfold. The Dodgers are doing tenfold TV revenue than the Padres. Such is life.
Yeah,
life's not fair. Baseball's not fair.
It's hard for me to think that Boras saying like, oh, Soto would not be with the Yankees today if Peter Seidler were still alive. Like, if it doesn't feel like icky.
I need to hear from Preller on that, or Katsenda. I really do.
Yeah, it's kind of distant. It's a bad look to say something about somebody who's not here to answer or defend himself.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it to like create a point of leverage. Like a person's passing should not be used as part of a negotiating tactic.
Like I can say anything about somebody who passed away because they're not here to defend themselves.
But it's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
Yeah, exactly. All right, on the other side, is that good? The best and worst of the sports weekend. Also, coming up next, we will give away one of 2 pairs to San Diego State, San Marcos exhibition game at Viejas Arena Wednesday night. Coming up in about 48 hours, plus Nate Bennett, Aztec receiver at 4 p.m. is Shawn and Jim. All right, Nate Bennett, Aztec receiver, had a touchdown this past week against Washington State. He's getting ready for Boise State Friday at 5 right here on San Diego Sports 760. He'll join us coming up in 13 minutes. We'll give away San Diego State basketball tickets in the next 10 minutes for Wednesday against San Marcos, an exhibition game at Viejas Arena. But right now, let's get to this.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder, from 29 yards away. Oh, he missed it badly. Kick on the way. Boswell. That's a winner.
The good and bad from the sports weekend.
So I thought the injury to Aiden Hutchinson would kind of not hurt the Lions, but it would get them a significant bump in the road. He's like a potential defensive player of the year. Yeah, they haven't missed a beat. They have not missed a beat. If anything, it feels like they've gotten better. I'm not saying that they are, but it feels like it. Because yesterday, now they're facing a 1-5 Titans team. They put up 52 points on the Titans, but they had 61 net passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, because they had 2 touchdown passes thrown by other players other than Jared Goff. Brent, is that good?
It is good!
Well, I don't know if Aiden Hutchinson was going to impact their offense.
No, but he's going to just, I think, impact, obviously the defense.
Yeah, he's right.
He's the
good player.
He was about to be defensive player of the year if he stayed healthy, I feel like.
Lions are good.
Lions are
very good.
Very good.
I can answer this, but Bears corner, Tyreek Stevenson, not good. Okay, not paying attention. I knew Brett was going to not paying attention to start a play, then out of position during the play, then tipping the ball for the winning Hail Mary play. In basically the worst play ever.
What?
Unless you're a Commanders fan.
Bro, what happened?
He was an idiot, is what happened.
No, I'm just like,
he was an idiot.
They kept trying to lose the game, and they did it.
I mean,
whether it was, hey, we got 1st and goal on the 1, let's hand it off to our offensive lineman. Oops,
so stupid.
Right.
Or even when they scored the touchdown, if it wasn't for the pass interference on 3rd down to set them up again, they wouldn't have scored again because it's down there. It's like, hey, we're on the 1. Let's throw a fade. Oh, oops, I overthrew it by 10 yards. Hey, let's go. Oops.
That is the dumbest play I've ever seen. Would you agree? Now knowing how it started, it's basically the dumbest play I've ever seen. He was the guy that was supposed to be the tip drill guy.
And you watch the whole thing, and he just runs in, and he's the one that tips it.
He tipped it up,
and it goes right over
without
his
him,
head.
they win. Honestly, if there's 10 people on the field, I think the other dudes would have figured it out before he tipped it.
Dude.
I think everyone in my apartment building thinks I cut off a toe or something because as soon as he caught it, I just screamed the F word as loud as possible.
Jim texted me, said, "Is Brent alive?"
I didn't want to text you. I didn't want to text you because it was awful.
No, all right, next. Not next question.
Speaking of awful, Aaron Judge, who I've been sitting here praising for having a better regular season offensively than Shohei Ohtani, which I think we can agree on that, right?
His regular season was awesome.
His regular season was great. I think this past weekend he was named the MLBPA Player of the Year.
Yes, he had a great year.
Great year. But oh my God, his postseason numbers are horrific. This postseason, I'm not counting his other postseasons, just this postseason in general. He's 6 for 39 with 15 strikeouts. In the World Series, he's 1 for 8 with 5 Ks. Is that good?
No, he's not good. Are you kidding me?
And he doesn't have a hit with runners in scoring position.
So he's like anti-Shohei?
He's the anti-Shohei,
Great. All right, I'm going to give you this. Aaron Rodgers is just old and tired, and the Jets are a bad organization.
Correct.
They have lost 5 consecutive games. You can't lose to the Patriots when you have Aaron Rodgers and they're trying to be quasi-relevant.
And you just traded for Devontae Adams.
It's an embarrassment and a joke, and it's fun to watch. Is that good?
No, he's not good. Are you kidding me?
What else you got?
Finally, the D-Wade statue.
No, terrible. It's a joke.
What is that?
He approved it.
Are you kidding me?
Approved the statue. He was in the process.
What happened?
What did happen?
How do you mess that up? How do you approve that? I was saying during the break, he looks like a like a Lawrence Fishburne or like a Thanos. Like the jaw is just.
It looks nothing like.
It doesn't look anything like D-Wade, unless
Nothing.
I'm missing something here.
No, you're not.
It's like here's our Halloween tie-in, which you won't understand, John. Remember in The Ring when like they'd take the pictures of their face, but it'd be all like blurry and messed up when they saw the tape.
Yeah,
it's like they're like, "Hey, here's D-Wade's photo for a statue," and it was like all blurry, and he's just like, "Oh no, I got it. I don't need another photo. I'm
It
cool."
reminds me of the Ronaldo. Who is it? Is it Ronaldo?
Ronaldo,
There's one horrific Ronaldo statue where his eyes look horrific.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, with the internet being the way it is, it has created some amazing memes.
Yeah, of him like the big three with his like statue head.
So the remember the iconic photo of the alley-oop to LeBron and he's like holding his arms out?
The statue head.
Someone's like, I'm puzzled. Does anyone clowning the statue not remember this iconic photo? And they have like the statue head like on D-Wade's
It's
face.
really bad. It's really
so bad.
It's so bad.
It doesn't look anything like
the
it.
best part is when they show it to everyone like outside the arena in Miami, and I was like, "Oh."
He even said, like when he spoke, I think he was like, he didn't mean it this way, but it came off really bad. He looked back and he goes, "Who is that guy?"
Dude, he approved it. He was in on the design
dude?
process. My final one is this: more people have watched the World Series. This is now both games. More people have watched the World Series in Japan than in America. Is that good?
That's no good.
Now, hold on. Now, this is still the most watched World Series in America since Cubs Indians.
No, it's just 2017.
Is that the year after Cubs? Oh, since Dodgers Astros.
Yes.
Okay. And it's only been 2 games. But if it's a 4-game sweep, it'll be a debacle.
It won't be good.
Yeah, but if it could go 6 or 7, but yeah, Japan loves baseball. But what does it say when a population that's 4 times larger than Japan has fewer people watching than Japan?
They had, on the broadcast, like the live cut-ins to like a Yankee bar, and then they go to Japan, and I'm like, okay, they're going to a Yankees, I guess, tavern or a bar, and it's like almost like a Novo. It's a huge
in New
venue.
York. You're saying,
yeah. Hundreds and hundreds of people, and they go to Japan, and it's like 15 people in a little like restaurant.
No, I guess because they're all home watching the game.
I'm like, what?
I just think it's bad because if you take out the Japanese viewership, the ratings aren't that good, and this was supposed to be, the mega, ratings buster that was just going to break the needle, and there'd be no sporting event ever, higher rated again because it's Dodgers Yankees.
Right. Well,
still
if you combine
good.
it with Japan, it's like this record-breaking series. But if you just took the American audience, to Brent's point, it isn't maybe what it was expected to be. It's going to have to go 6 or 7 games for it to get to that 2016 level.
Because, you look at the ratings here for last year's World Series.
They were awful.
They were really bad. Last year's World Series, game 1, 9 million. Game 2, 8 million.
That's awful.
And, I'm looking at 2017 here, 14 million, 15 million, games 1 and 2. So they're like comparable.
Yeah.
But 2016 Cubs Indians, 19 million game 1, 17 million game 2, 19 million game 3.
And by the way, you had an iconic game 1.
I would think, and I would have hoped that their ratings would have been closer to like a 20, and they're not. So that's like it's good for baseball, I guess, but I feel like if you're the executive Fox, you're thinking that should have been higher.
Let's see if it goes long. I think if the series goes long, they got a chance to have huge numbers, but you're right. If it's 4 or 5 games, it's not going to be huge. All right, on the other side, Nate Bennett, Aztec receiver, first career touchdown as an Aztec came this past weekend against Washington State. Also, we promise you this. Call right now if you want 2 free tickets for Wednesday at Viejas Arena. San Diego State San Marcos men's basketball exhibition game. Caller 5, you're going 877-767-4760. Call right now. 2 free tickets to San Diego State San Marcos exhibition Wednesday night, Viejas Arena, 877-767-4760. Aztec receiver Nate Bennett will join us next.
This update is brought to you by the Jim Petrell Real Estate Team. Game 3 of the World Series tonight, 5:08 first pitch in New York at Yankee Stadium. Yankees-Dodgers. Dodgers have a 2-0 series lead there. Aztecs, after coming off a heartbreaking loss to Washington State this past Saturday night, will take on Boise State on the road this Friday, 5 p.m. kickoff. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. Other news in baseball over the weekend, Jackson Merrill was named the MLBPA NL Rookie of the Year. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Petrell has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
Getting you all set for that drive home. Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. This hour, we do have those Snow Jam tickets that we'll give away. We also have more tickets for San Diego State men's basketball and exhibition game Wednesday night at Viejas Arena. We'll give those away between now and 6 p.m. We've also been talking about San Diego State football coming off a loss on homecoming against Washington State. Really good back and forth game that the Cougars won 29-26. Now a quick turnaround. San Diego State's going to be playing in Boise on the Blue Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's our pleasure right now to welcome in Aztec receiver, a senior, Nate Bennett. First season on the Mesa, first touchdown catch as an Aztec this past weekend in that game against Washington State. And first of all, Nate, we appreciate you coming on. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I'm doing great and really excited for the challenge this week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what's to come. I do want to talk about your touchdown. I know, obviously, and I heard what you said post-game. Obviously, you're trying to win the football game, but the moment that you had on Saturday night must have been special for you and your family, your first touchdown as an Aztec, and it comes on a bit of a trick play with Jordan Napier throwing it. Can you take us through that moment and that play and how impactful it was for you?
Yeah, it was definitely impactful. For starters, it was just a special moment to give glory to God and to really give the glory to my teammates. They really, do a lot for me, and it was very special to get in the end zone and, especially at a critical time in the game. And overall, I mean, that play was just a lot of fun too. It was something we worked on during practice throughout the week, and we were actually able to find success with it throughout the practice week. And, it's not every day a fellow wide receiver gets to throw you the ball. So it was definitely cool for myself and also for my family, who have done a lot for me as well.
How long have you guys had that play in the bag for? Like, is it something that installed this past week, or have you guys been practicing that play for a while now?
Yeah, well, we practiced that play a little bit during the bye week, and then moving through game week, we worked on it as well. So the bye week allowed us to have some extra time working on it.
And did it go like as you expected? And obviously you scored a touchdown, but like running that play, was everything as crisp as you guys wanted it? Looking back at the film today.
It's kind of funny because during practice, it was successful during practice against our defense and, against other situations throughout practice. But the look in the game was actually one that I had not seen when we ran it. But I was happy that, Jordan Napier had the confidence to throw me the ball in the game. So, it was a lot of fun.
Aztec senior receiver Nate Bennett with us right now on Jon and Jim. I know you've been asked this before, but 4 years at Portland State, a lot of success, over 100 career catches, well over 1,000 career yards. What made San Diego State the right fit for you right now?
It was the right fit overall because it presented a new opportunity with an elite coaching staff, to have the ability to have elite teammates, to be in a system where I would thrive as a wide receiver. And then also it just so happened to be close to home and provide a great education. I'm working on my MBA degree here right now, and everything, it kind of checked all my boxes. So it was just really, a great fit.
How have you and Danny, the relationship you guys have created over the start of the season, how is that relationship going between quarterback and wide receiver?
It's gone really well. Me and Danny, we talk about different things that we see on the field often. We work together in the film room. If there's any questions I have, Danny's quick to answer, and we've done a great job of getting on the same page with things. And it's definitely, taking time throughout the season, like it has with everything within our team, but we put in a lot of work, and he's a great teammate.
Nate Bennett with us right now, Aztec receiver. So Friday night on the blue, so to speak, at Boise State. You guys are 2-0 in the Mountain West. They are 3-0. We know what they've been able to accomplish. Obviously, they've been one of the better teams in the country as well. How much are you looking forward to just everything that surrounds this? I mean, this is a huge opportunity, obviously, for you and your team.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. You know, like you said, they're at the top of the Mountain West right now. They have not lost a Mountain West game, and I'm really excited to go in there and, you know, just put my best foot forward against them. And I know that our football team will be more than prepared, and we're going to go out there and give it everything we got and do our best to come home with a win, and we're more than capable of doing so.
You know, bit of a short week here playing on a Friday night. How does that impact, you know, going into a game week and planning for a game on a Friday night instead of a Saturday night?
Well, obviously you have to adapt a little bit to the challenge of playing on a quick turnaround, but, you know, it just takes a little bit of more resilience and determination to make sure that you're keeping your body right, to honing in on the physical parts of practice when, you know, that's asked of us, and really to make sure that we're mentally locked in on all the details, just because that preparation is happening a lot faster.
What's it like, Nate? I mean, so many, obviously, for you and a lot of your teammates. I mean, it's a lot of newness, obviously, like the portal, you know, all these quote unquote new players to the Mesa, a new coaching staff. How long does it take to get acclimated?
There's definitely a moment for sure where, you know, there was a significant, not a significant, but some time where, you know, it took us all to get acclimated with each other, with the coaches. And like you said, everybody was new. So, you know, things aren't going to just be successful right away. It takes time and work. And once you accumulate that work, that time on task, Coach Lewis talks about time on task a lot, it really does reap the benefits for everybody.
I asked this to all the offensive players that we've had on our show, but being in a Shawn Lewis, you know, offense, just what is it like, especially with the fast up-paced tempo that you guys want to run every single play?
Yeah, you know, it requires a lot of thinking on your feet and being able to process things quickly. It was definitely difficult at first. I remember during spring ball, there was a lot of us who were exhausted, who were tired, and we definitely grown through that. And it's cool to see where we've gone from the beginning of everything to where we're at now. And honestly, it's a lot of fun too. I'll say that. Like, I haven't been in a system that moves this quickly, and when we get our tempo rolling, it's a lot of fun and makes it difficult for defenses.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and Nate Bennett's with us, Aztec senior wide receiver. And my final question is just on the progress that this team has made, because it feels like, despite some of the results, again, you could have won this game against Washington State, but they won it. The CMU game, Central Michigan, was a winnable game. There's 4 straight games you guys have played decided by 3 points or less. That's the first time in the history of San Diego State football. But do you feel as if, regardless of result, because I do, this team has just gotten drastically better, and it almost feels like you're at a point where maybe, you know, at some point here in the second half of the season, everything's just going to click?
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. And, you know, it's very encouraging to have continuous improvement, especially when people have doubted us in the past. We definitely are aware of, you know, the talent on our team, on offense, defense, special teams. And, you know, we look forward to continuing to improve. And I truly believe that we are going to click. And I think we have been, and we've shown that we've clicked throughout parts of games. And once we fully put everything together, we're going to continue to find success.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Aztec fans that have been watching, if you've been watching each and every game, I mean, you're seeing a team that's improving in all areas. I mean, there's no question about that. Nate, again, 5 catches, 73 yards, a touchdown in that game, homecoming against Washington State. So congratulations on your individual successes. We're looking forward to Friday night on the Blue, Boise State, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on San Diego Sports 760. But we appreciate you taking time for us, and best of luck this weekend, all right?
Thank you. Yeah, it was great being on the show. I really appreciate it.
All right, great stuff from Nate Bennett. Again, the Portland State transfer here on Jon and Jim. And again, you can hear the game Friday. Jim's off. 5 o'clock start time. Pregame coverage will begin at 3 p.m. with Ben Fletcher and J.R. Tolver. Now, Jim is in a heated debate right now on our YouTube channel with a loyal viewer, I noticed. GJL Creative Studios, who's in there all the time. So the argument stems back to something we started the show with, which is something I actually said. I said, How can it be a special season if the Dodgers win the World Series? How can it be a special season for the Padres if the Dodgers win the World Series? They don't run like congruently, like they run against each other. You can't have a special season if the Dodgers win the World Series. And if you can, then how are they a rival?
You can say this was a really good season for the Padres. There were a lot of special moments. No hitter. Jackson Merrill had some great moments in this season. Hopefully he becomes the rookie of the year in a couple of weeks. Like officially, I know he's won 2 other awards, but officially the Baseball Writers of America award, that the one that they'll talk about and is put on your baseball reference page. But you lost a 2-1 series lead to the Dodgers in the postseason. You choked that away. And if the Dodgers go and win the World Series, it's not considered a special season. I'm sorry. You're probably alone in this camp, and that's fine. It's okay if you want to think that this season was special. I'm just telling you, it's not. Like, it's a really good year. It's a building block, hopefully, for next season and the year after that. But you don't see other teams in sports after having a good regular season and have a crushing defeat in the postseason, to their arch rival, and their arch rival goes on and wins the, championship, say, man, that was a special year. Like the bad taste left in everybody's mouth. I'm not saying it takes over what happened this past season, the 93 wins.
But it does some of it.
But it does some of it, yeah.
Yeah, and again, I get the point. And I get the point that this isn't Red Sox Yankees. This isn't Michigan Ohio State. This isn't Carolina Duke. But it is something of significance, isn't it? I mean, it's something real. So, yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's really a question. I really don't. I really don't think it's a question. And by the way, was it a special season for the Red Sox when they lost a 3-0 lead to the Yankees in the ALCS? Like that's not a special season. It's just not. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, yeah, the Dodgers are part of that. When you went through the Dodgers in 2022, that makes it a special season. You went through the Dodgers in 2022. When you get to a World Series in 84 and 98, that's special.
Yeah, I see in the chat right here. James says that, did the Giants have a special season in 2021 when they lost to LA in the division round? No, they didn't. They won the most games in franchise history, 107. And guess what? That season will be remembered for disappointment. Sorry, that's how it works. If you're sitting here and be like, so you only define a special season by winning a World Series?
I mean, we're getting close.
I mean, you got to get close, and they didn't get close.
And you don't want your bitter, again, however you want to phrase it, whether it's rival or the proximity or you're in the same division or whatever you want to say, you don't want them winning it. That's a part of it. If the Dodgers this year went 79 and 83 and were out of the postseason and you lost to the Arizona Diamondbacks in the NLDS, it's a bit of a different story, but that didn't happen.
When your annoying Dodger fan friend starts rubbing it in about the world, you just tell them how special of a season you guys had.
That's the thing.
And when they're done laughing at you, then you just keep going on about how special it was.
I think you can have different definitions for certain things. Like, if you go into a season and you are coming off of like 5 consecutive losing years and no one's expecting you to do anything and you make the postseason, like what the Detroit Tigers did this year. Okay. No one expected them to make the postseason. I still don't consider that like a special year. I just kind of consider that to be like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not special to me. Special means you got to get to a point where you're like knocking on the doorstep of a potential championship or something. I don't know. I think 2022 is more defined as special than 2024.
Let's use Bears Packers for if the Bears make the postseason this year and the Packers beat them in the divisional round. Okay. Now Bears haven't been in the postseason in a while. That's a nice year to get in, but now they got beat by the
Caleb
Packers.
Williams, rookie season.
Now they got beat by the Packers who win the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a special year for Bears fans.
No, the year means nothing.
There you go.
Everything that
because
happens
that's how sports are. I mean,
doesn't matter.
It's kind of absolute. Well, it's not like I'm not a big participation trophy guy, right? Like
me neither.
Now, again, there's some accomplishments you can have as an organization.
Building blocks, yeah.
Yeah, there's things that have value. Jackson Merrill's season is real.
That'll make you excited. That'll make you excited for next year.
And the Padres team was a good team.
Yeah.
And Mike Schilt did a nice job, and so did AJ
really
Preller.
Good job. Yeah.
And they deserve credit.
Absolutely.
But also in there is you don't want to spend the whole offseason talking about how the Dodgers won the World Series at your expense.
Yeah, there's fans out there that are okay with just getting in and having fun and winning
fine.
some games. That's fine. I don't operate like that. John doesn't operate like that. And the standard can't just be, oh, that was fun. I'm glad we got in. Like, no, that can't be the standard. Like, have some sports respect for yourself here and don't be just satisfied with getting in and having some fun and this and that and some cool comebacks and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
right.
No.
How do you treat San Diego State men's basketball? Getting in's not good enough.
No,
and they've made consecutive Sweet 16s.
You can be happy with the season, and we all were, and it was a great regular season. But you can also be really disappointed with how it ended and expect it to be better and want it to be better. Like, have some standards and respect from yourself as a sports fan.
The wrap is next. All right, hey guys, it's Jon and Jim. We've been telling you about our friends over at Jamul Casino. Tonight is the perfect night to get out there. They've got great opportunities to win big with Monday Night Football. Plus, it's Game 3 of the World Series. So if you've been looking to get out to Jamul, tonight is the night with a chance to win big on Monday nights.
Yeah, there's 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Your odds are better than ever. Plus, their Onyx players are going to receive an extra $100 in cash bonuses on top of their winnings. Plus, you're going to earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
Plus, you probably like food, and they have great food and a great spot to watch all the action is Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. You'll love it. Great food and drinks. Televisions everywhere, great Tony Gwynn sports memorabilia as well. And then Jamul in general has endless dining options 5 nights a week, including Saturday surf and turf buffet. You'll love it. Perfect combinations of succulent steaks, delectable seafood, and more.
And tonight, John, is the sports equinox where every single sport has a game on tonight. Head to Jamul Casino, get to Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. It's the best place to watch a sporting event, great atmosphere, great food. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
All right, San Diego Sports 76 has 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the inflation vacation. Listen to the nationwide keyword at the top of every hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then enter at sportssd.com. We'll give away Snow Jam tickets. We'll give away Aztec men's basketball tickets for Wednesday. What else you have?
So, Rich makes a good point in the chat.
Okay.
Baseball is a game of failure. Only 2 teams make it to the World Series. The same thing in every
That's
sport.
all the sports.
Every sport.
Super Bowl is not 4 teams.
Sports is a game of failure. Like only one team wins it every year. So really only one team is going to be like, man, we had a special season.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are thinking that because we're saying it wasn't a special year and because of how everything transpired in the postseason and how things are shaping up here with the Dodgers 2 wins away from their first World Series since 1998. 1988. Did I say 1998?
You did.
Sorry. 1988. My bad. We don't think the Padres had a good year. No.
It was a good year.
It was a really good year. Really good year.
But we draw the line.
Yes.
Got to draw the line.
You have to.
Hold the line.
If you're considering this as a special season, maybe your standards are lower than mine.
You bringing the team back in 25 years to say we were a wild card winner?
No.
I mean, is that where are they doing it or not? You bring back 2 teams in the history of the franchise, and I understand it. They haven't won a World Series. 84, I'm bringing back. 98, I'm bringing back. 2024, unfortunately, they're not being brought back together. Unfortunately, because there's a line you draw.
This person in the chat, M.I. Old, brings up a very good example of special year, but the team didn't win the championship.
Sure.
The Warriors, when they won 73 games.
That's an extreme example, though, like Patriots going undefeated.
Because
you have to at that point. There's only one option.
You can't lose, because if you lose, it will only be remembered as disappointing.
I would say undefeated basketball teams in the NCAA tournament, then losing. There was a Kentucky team that lost to Wisconsin in a Final Four. Like, you made a Final Four. You were undefeated.
Yeah, or teams that maybe lost one game during the regular season and then lose before even making the Sweet 16, or they lose in the Sweet 16.
Absolutely.
1 seed. Do you think Alabama was saying they had a special year when they were finally a 1 seed in the tournament and they lost to San Diego State?
No, but they probably did say it when they made it to the Final Four, which was last year.
And now, if you want to go the argument, well, if you're just only talking about championships, what about San Diego State when they made the national championship game?
Yeah, that's different. When I just told you, celebrate the World Series in '84. People do.
Yeah.
Celebrate the World Series in '98. Celebrate. Hey, guess who hangs Final Four banners? Kentucky. Right.
Yeah, you hang Final Four banners. You hang, making it to the national championship game.
Oh, those are hung everywhere.
Those are accomplishments that you absolutely celebrate as being a special type of year, because those don't come around often. You got to at least make if they made the World Series this year. The Padres. What'd you do?
I don't know. Can you? I did something. I hit a button. Thank you. Oh.
Anyway,
lock my computer.
Just don't touch it.
I won't touch anything.
Don't touch it.
Okay.
If the Padres made the World Series this year, boom, absolutely. You can be like, man, that was like
that's special.
That's special.
That's 26 years between world. I mean, the World Series is tough.
So I'm not sitting here saying the only way it's defined as special is you have to win a championship. Most instances, I would say yes.
You'd like to win one.
Like, you're not saying Dodgers seasons. If you're a Dodger fan out there that won 11 games won last year or whatever it was, as a special year, they lost in the division round.
They won't say this year.
No.
If something happens over the next 5 games and they lose, there's nothing special about it. Nothing.
No.
If they lose 4 of the next 5 games, it's defined. Now, this is different.
Yeah.
I'll go further here. That's defined as a failure if that happens.
Now, there's different standards for different franchises. Like, the Yankees aren't going to be celebrating this World Series run in 20 years if they don't win it. They only celebrate championships. If the Tigers made the World Series this year, I think you'd be celebrated because
of course
they went on a crazy run.
You just got to have a feel for it. We should all collectively have a feel. What I watched in the regular season was really enjoyable. It was a very good year.
It had the makings of being something special. We talked about it.
Just didn't pan out.
There were special moments like the triple play, the no-hitter, all of that, right? The comebacks, the walk-offs.
But again, like that triple play to clinch a playoff spot, if the Dodgers eventually win the World Series,
And we said it that night. If you're going to pull off something like this, which is like, feels like a once in a decade type of
you better
instance,
do it in the postseason.
Then you got to back it up and you got to finish the job, or at least be better than where they ended up finishing.
70470 started with team. Was the Padres season quote unquote special or not in 2024? Plus, this hour, your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam. We're here until 6 p.m. with Shawn and Jim.
$606,000.
All right, we'll get back to Trainwreck Radio in about 15 minutes. We'll let you know what's called for a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024 at Del Mar Fairgrounds. That coming up. Now, remember earlier in when Toddy and Mookie did a podcast?
Yeah.
We were very critical.
Yeah, we were.
I think rightfully so. I'm going to be less critical here. I don't know if you've seen this. Our buddy Ben Fadden. Buddy.
Oh yes. It's this. I know.
So Luis Arraez is at Yankee Stadium before Game 3 because Salvador Perez is accepting this year's Roberto Clemente Award.
Good for him.
Which is like,
congratulations.
I think like best humanitarian in the sport, something along those lines.
Yeah.
He's a Hall of Fame player.
Right. Salvi?
I think so.
Ooh, I can play a game for 1 second. I love that game.
Not even looking at his numbers, I'll say yes.
Okay, that's interesting. That's so your head says that. My head says no.
Okay.
And I think the answer is no. So you tell me after looking at his numbers if he's anywhere close. I know catcher, not as easy, but I don't think anywhere
All right,
close.
so he's a 9-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, World Series MVP, 5-time Gold Glover.
When do you want to get to the bad stuff?
Right now.
Hasn't hit 300 home runs.
But he's only 27 away.
He's not going to get there.
Why not?
Because he's old.
Okay, so he doesn't have a couple years left in him.
Is 27 away?
Yeah, he has 273.
Okay, it could be a Hall of Famer.
So he'll get to 300. He has already 1,500 hits. I mean, if do you think Buster Posey's a Hall of Famer?
You know, I tend to think probably, but that's more when you say name, I go Posey over Perez.
But
I got it. Shorter career. The numbers aren't going to be crazy gaudy. Offensively, they're not crazy gaudy, right?
No, I think Perez has better numbers across the board than Posey, except for batting average and all the other OPS.
He's got 1,500 hits, Posey.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 302 career batting average. He's a higher career WAR. What's Perez's OPS career?
Career is 762.
Posey's 831.
Okay, that's really good.
So they might both be.
But again, I think and we'll get back to the topic here. I think going forward to vote for Hall of Fame players is going to have to be like more to their accomplishments than to their numbers,
That's
which
fair.
Like you're going to have to factor in their accomplishments for guys that don't have like these gaudy numbers that you think, dude, Hall of Fame player.
Right. Like Posey. Yeah. I mean, when I see 158 home runs, I get it. He won at a very high level and he hit, and his career by Hall of Fame standards is a shorter one. 12-year career is shorter.
It is shorter.
It's not 15 plus, but
then you also have to say
Rookie of the Year,
like,
MVP.
The accomplishments, Rookie of the Year, MVP, 3-time World Series champion, 6 or 7-time All-Star.
So who's more accomplished? I think Posey over Perez, right?
I think both should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's fair. Wait, where was I? Okay, so anyway, Salvador Perez obviously is a great man as well because he just won the Roberto Clemente Award, all right, as a humanitarian. So Luis Arraez is there supporting him, okay? And then Luis Arraez in street clothes is with the media, and he's with Teoscar Hernandez, who's on the field, right? Dodger, Teoscar Hernandez, 1-year deal. And they're seen hugging on field. Luis Arraez and Teoscar Hernandez. I don't have as much of an issue with it. Luis Arraez's season is over. He's there supporting Salvador Perez. So he's got a relationship with Teoscar Hernandez. Okay. I mean, they're not in uniform, and they're not podcasting in season. I don't see it as a big deal.
You know why? He's not there to support Salvador Perez.
He's there to support the Dodgers?
No.
Okay, so go on.
He is there because of a baseball social media takeover.
Okay.
Ozzy Albies was, I think, game 2 or game 1.
Okay.
Major League Baseball released, I forget,
a schedule
of like players taking over the social media accounts and taking over the World Series. Luis Arraez was already scheduled to take over game 3. That's why he's there.
Well, I have here that Luis Arraez, Salvador Perez's countryman from Venezuela, is here to watch Clemente's press conference.
Yeah, but
he's also doing
doing like interviews and social media for Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
and that's what happens with baseball.
Oh, I got you. So as part of the interview social media thing, he's talking to athletes in the game, and he's with.
And they were always going to announce the Roberto Clemente Award game 3.
Correct.
And I'm sure they had it. I'm sure they knew who was going to win.
Sure,
so they lined it up.
I got you. Yeah,
like this is not something that he went there just to hang out with Dodger players.
That's my point. Like he was already going to be there.
Yeah, I'm looking on MLB's Twitter or Axis,
Right.
World Series player takeover. Ozzie Albies, Luis Arraez, Brent Rooker share their thoughts and insights on World Series games 1 through 3 across MLB social media
The
platforms.
truth is, and even the Betts Tatis thing where we were pretty critical, and I think fairly. The truth is, baseball today isn't baseball in 1989. Social media exists today. It didn't in 1999, and things are different.
Yeah, you weren't going to have, who was the catcher that Pete Rose ran over?
Ray Fosse.
You're not going to have Ray Fosse at one of the World Series and hanging out
different.
with Pete Rose.
No, but I also think there's something about like, okay, do players go to the Super Bowl that lost in the AFC Championship? They do. They do. And do they have sideline passes and do they communicate with the players that are there? They do.
And you know why they go there? For sponsorships,
yes,
because promotion, they're getting
marketing,
paid,
they have agents,
marketing agents. Like
similar here.
How many times did when we went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago in LA, Niners lost NFC title game to the Rams?
Right. Yeah, you didn't want to be there.
I didn't want to be there, but
a lot of Niners were there.
Deebo Samuel was there.
Yep.
So you get that in the NBA, you get that in baseball now, and I think that's a good thing for baseball. Like Jackson Merrill was at Dodger Stadium over the weekend to accept his MLB PA Rookie of the Year award.
Once the year's over, I'm 100% cool with it.
It's not like Luis Arraez and Jackson Merrill going to these games wearing Dodger hats.
Yeah, like cheering as they hit home runs.
Like,
I don't think that's happening.
It's now, if it were me, I mean, I don't know. Like I know Jackson Merrill spoke like when he watching the game, he spoke on MLB radio saying like, man, I want to be in that game so bad.
Sure.
And I get it. Some players don't want to go because they just can't deal with it. But a lot of times you get players go to be seen, to market themselves. Obviously, baseball wants to have like all of the sport watching, so they bring in other fan bases. Like, hey, if Ace, I'm just using an example. Like Brent Rooker had a really good season. What if he's like the best player on the A's? A's fans say they love Brent Rooker.
So now they're going to see some of the social.
Bad example. But
no, but I can't be critical. We can't be saying, hey, Major League Baseball does a horrific job of marketing. And then when they actually do marketing, be like, how could they market with Brent Rooker? Yeah. His team isn't in the World Series and he's communicating with New York Yankees. You know what? It's just how sports works. It's basically a marketing machine and a business. We're led to believe that all that matters is the result. Like that the sport transcends the business, right? Like you want to hate the Dodgers, you want to hate the Giants, where at the end of the day, it is a business. It's a business of sports. It's a marketing machine. By the way, Luis Arraez is a part of the MLBPA. He's a member of a union. Guess who else is a member of the union? Every single player. Yeah. So it is what it is. Like the days of, like we said, Ray Fosse or 100 years ago, you're not going to catch Babe Ruth at dinner with the arch rival. That wasn't happening. I wouldn't think. But today it would happen.
You're not going to see Derek Jeter hanging out with Jason Varitek.
No chance in hell. And that was only one generation ago now,
right?
If that.
A-Rod with, now they hang out now because they do the pre and post show, but like back in the day, you're probably not going to see David Ortiz and Alex Rodriguez going out to dinner together in New York.
Dude, the Toddy Betts podcast, one of the topics was the triple play. The triple play to allow the Padres to clinch a postseason spot happened the day before. So that was a little bit too far for us.
Yeah. And I haven't watched it yet. It's definitely on my list. But did you see what just came out on Netflix? The 2004 documentary.
It's on my list too.
I cannot wait to watch it. But back to the point is like, once you watch that series, I guarantee
they hate each other.
You're not going to think, man, these guys must have done podcasting together during the series.
Each other.
Could you imagine Pedro Martinez and Derek Jeter doing a podcast and be like, man, remember when you threw down George Zimmer or who was it?
Oh, no.
Not George.
The pitching coach?
Yeah.
Don Zimmer.
Don Zimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when you threw down Don
they
Zimmer?
despise each other. Now, 20 years later, they'll work on the same Fox set. You know what I mean? You'll have the David Ortizes and the Derek. It's 20 years. But not during the playing days. Not during the playing days.
Dude, ridiculous.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a long way of saying that I kind of like that fandom, though, hasn't changed. You said, like in 2004, Red Sox and Yankees fans, but they're not less hardcore today. The fans are still the fans. Mm-hmm. But what's happening with the sport, things change with the players. I mean, it's like what we always say. It's like your dad would say, like, oh, kids aren't, they're softer than they used to be. And the same thing we say about the NBA. It's not played the same way. This player wouldn't be as good today as they were previously.
Yeah.
Things like that.
You wouldn't see, I mean, I could see a world where, Aaron Judge is hanging out with Rafi Devers. Like,
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You would never see that back
20 years ago.
20 years
I agree.
ago.
Quick. 8760. Michael, you're on with Jon and Jim.
Hi, Jon Jim. How you
What's up,
guys
man?
doing? Thank you for taking the call.
Yeah.
We're great.
I really think the Padres had a great season. It wasn't special, but it could have been.
Yeah.
I really think that this winter we need to lock up Dylan Cease and Michael King because they were part of that Juan Soto trade, and if we lose those two, that makes the Juan Soto trade feel even worse. But thanks for what you guys do. You guys are the best.
Appreciate you, Michael.
That's a great call, Michael.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. It was a great season, but it's special when they came up like really short of their goal. You know, like you can see it's okay, guys. To not say it's a special, to say it wasn't a special season.
Right. Like that really isn't to get under anyone's skin.
No, it's
just to
not.
be truthful and accurate.
Yeah. And the point of it kind of makes it worse if the Dodgers end up completing this, win the World Series by going through you. And not only going through you, choked against them.
At the end of the day,
That's what it is. Where it's going to make it like even worse. You're like, they were at home, the Padres, up 2-1 against a bullpen day for the Dodgers with Dylan Cease on the mound. And 2 weeks later, the Dodgers are holding a World Series trophy potentially. Bro.
Not a dream scenario, truthfully. It's not very special to me. We will hear from Luis Arraez in the 5 o'clock hour from Yankees Stadium. We have some sound we'll share with you coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. But call right now if you want a free 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024 at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. All right. Call right now if you want a free 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024 at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, November 8th through the 10th. Great prize. Great prize. You can win it right now. The number to call is 877-767-4760. First 2 callers will be contestants for Trainwreck Radio. So there's a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024 at Del Mar. Call right now if you want those tickets. First 2 callers will be contestants. Call right now. 877-767-4760. That's next. right. Game 3. World Series, Bronx, New York. Who's throwing out the first pitch?
This guy named Derek Jeter, I think. Derek Jeter. Why? Never heard of him.
Why would the Marlins, before the Marlins VP, be throwing out the first pitch for the Yankees?
He's horrible.
No sense. Does that make any sense? Yeah. That would be like if Shaq did the ceremonial tip-off for a Lakers game.
Or, yeah, you're right.
As like a guy that started for the Magic.
Ceremonial tip-off.
You know what I'm talking about?
You throw out the first
Throw
ball.
out the first puck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Throw out the first puck.
Throw out the first puck. What does that even mean?
Oh.
I want to throw out the first puck at a Gulls game.
Me too.
Gulls, are you listening? I want to throw out the first puck. I just want to wing the
Throw
thing
at
down
somebody.
the ice.
I want John to be an honorary goalie for the night.
Gully or goalie? I like that.
Ooh, a
They
goalie.
should call their goalies gullies.
Damn it,
Boom.
John.
I just how much money do we just make them?
So
$0
much money.
and
$0
0
and 0 cents. Yeah.
We'll hear from Luis Arraez coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. He's at Yankee Stadium before Game 3. But right now, let's get to this.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants. We have Bryson and we have Joe. Bryson, you called in first, so you have your choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
John.
All right, Bryson and John.
Bryson and John. Joe, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, you get Jim as a partner, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Brent, what's the question of the day?
All right, guys, today's question. Can you name the 6 NFL quarterbacks with the highest QBR this season? So we're looking for quarterbacks with the highest QBR in the NFL this season.
All right. So not
like
rating, but QBR, which is another
quarterback rating.
Another type of rating that quarterbacks get, which is I think used to determine truly how good you are. Is quarterback rate QBR.
It's an official stat.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, Joe, you're up first. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll start off with Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
All
On
right.
the list.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Well, he's been good, but the team hasn't been great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's been really good. Bryson, you're up next. What is your first guess? You have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Let's go with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Good guess. On the list. Joe, back to you. What is your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll go with Lamar.
Lamar Jackson. There we go. Good guess. Bryson, back to you. Second guess. You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll take the lifeline.
Look at me.
John.
Oh, I'll go with Mr. Hail Mary.
What's his name?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Do you take that, or do you want to guess something else there, Bryson?
Let's take it.
Oh,
That was out of
left
nowhere.
Hail Mary.
Yes. Joe, final guess. You do have a lifeline if you want to use it. What do you got?
I'll go with Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Oh,
Wow.
on the list.
So there's one quarterback left.
One quarterback left, and I know who it is.
Really?
I do.
Okay.
Bryson, final guess. What do you got?
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Yes.
What was it? The top 10 that we're doing?
Top 6.
Top 6. Shit. Yeah, shoot.
That's okay. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Let's go with
5 seconds.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is already said.
Jalen's been said. You can try one more. You got 5 seconds.
3.
Did he say Brady? Is Brady on the list?
No, Brady's not on the list.
Brady's not on the list. Okay.
That means Joe
Who
is
do you have as your 6th, Jim?
Jared Goff.
No.
What? Jared Goff's not on the list?
Who's on the list?
No, he's not on the list.
Who's on the list?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I'm
No,
joking.
he's lying about Jared Goff.
Hold on.
Who's the 6th?
Do you want to guess?
I would. It's not Mahomes, is it?
No. He was 7.
Oh wow.
Jared Goff? What the?
You tell? No, I don't know, Brent.
It's Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray,
He's third.
third in QBR. So what
Yeah.
are the top 6 in order?
So Burrow's number 1, Lamar's 2, Kyler's 3. A lot of guys on first name basis in the NFL.
QBR
this year, huh?
sucks.
Well, yeah, except for last year when your boy was on top. Then
Exactly.
it was the
Then
best
it
stat ever.
matters. Then the stat actually means something.
Josh Allen was 4, Jaden Daniels he was 6,
Oh,
and
wow.
then Jalen Hurts was 6, Daniels was 5.
Okay. Well, congratulations to our winner.
Jared Goff's 21st.
What'd you call him?
Jared Goff.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
No.
Congratulations all this week. You can win a 4-pack of tickets to Snow Jam 2024. Del Mar Fairgrounds, November 8th through the 10th. Discover an extension. I can't read.
Okay.
Discover an extensive
you just
collection
have
of
a stroke?
alpine skis, snowboards, boots, bindings, gloves, goggles, and everything else you need. I want to come in on Halloween dressed in all ski gear, head to toe. Okay.
You know what's wild is that looking at the quarterback rating, not QBR, like the rating for quarterbacks, Jared Goff's number 2 in all of the league, yet he's 21st in QBR.
He's 21st in QBR, dude.
Okay,
With competitive prices that rival online deals, mark your calendars November 8th. Get ready for an amazing winter experience at Snow Jam San Diego.
He leads the league in completion percentage.
Great.
That wasn't the question.
Does that make it a special season?
No.
That was going to be tomorrow's question.
Does that make you top 6
Ruined.
QBR?
I'm just saying if Jared Goff is so low with a QBR rating, then what the hell? Makes no sense.
The Padres are out of the postseason. Luis Arraez led the National League in hits. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. All right. We'll hear from Luis Arraez in the 5 o'clock hour. We're here until 6 p.m. We have Aztec basketball tickets to give away next hour as well. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Patrol Real Estate Team. World Series moments away from first pitch in the Bronx. Yankees and Dodgers. Dodgers have a 2-0 series lead there. Other news in baseball over the weekend, Jackson Merrill. He was awarded the MLB PA NL Rookie of the Year. The official Baseball Writers of America Rookie of the Year award will be announced later this month. And this past weekend, Aztecs crushing loss to Washington State, 29-26. Next up, they take on Boise this Friday on the road, 5 p.m. kickoff. You can listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Patrol has the buyers. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim. We will give away some Aztec men's basketball tickets for Wednesday night exhibition against San Marcos. Your first chance to see Brian Dutcher's team in action in front of fans Wednesday, 7 p.m. Viejas Arena. So we'll do that coming up this hour. We'll also hear from Luis Arraez later in the hour. Plus, we've been patiently waiting for the return of Jim's back page. It's been 2 days.
Well, yeah, because it was the weekend, John.
Have you thought about on social releasing something daily at 5:45 p.m.?
No.
Like having a special video, like a clip?
A clip?
A video clip that just people know at 5:45 if they follow at Jim Russell SD on social media, they're going to get that.
Well, here's the problem with Elon's site now. You can't schedule tweets anymore.
Well, you could just wait right there and be like, boom, send.
Nope.
You could schedule tweets if you pay the $11 a month.
Yeah, not happening.
Just have it ready, like Darnay's tweet about
and tweet.
Yeah, it's Halloween. His tweet. His tweet about the home run record for the Padres. Remember, he had that just sitting there ready to go.
Oh, he did. Yeah,
just have it. Just save it as a draft.
How is it that a lot of people? I want to ask Jim's opinion on this. Jim, what are you looking at?
I'm watching Derek Jeter's first pitch. This guy
was it good?
Yeah,
the Marlins
executive. Did he throw a strike?
I don't know.
Was he wearing a Marlins hat? Can we put that game on, please? The Steelers Giants isn't doing it for me yet. Steelers have been good, not the Giants.
So what were you asking?
How is it that there's other people in this very city we live in that work in the media that have check marks, yet you and I, distinguished media members, do not have check marks on Twitter?
Because we don't buy it, John.
So they've all bought them, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
If someone has a check mark, they've bought it.
I had a check mark.
Oh, yeah, they stole it from you. I never even had it.
They took my check mark.
I know, man.
They took my check mark.
There was a moment in time where you were like a big deal because not everyone had the check mark. You were one of the few.
Yeah, they gave me a check mark.
And then they took them all away and said, hey, buy it for $11 a month.
Right.
And now some people have check marks, and it's not what it used to mean.
Because Elon bought the website for like $400 billion and realized, how am I supposed to make money off this?
$11 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what my point was. Game 3 is coming up here momentarily. Obviously, series is over if the Dodgers win. There's no point to watch at that point. Series is completely over if the Dodgers win. So it's a must-have, even though it's Game 3. Yankees, big-time favorite here tonight, although Walker Buehler is on the mound. Dodgers do have a bullpen day in Game 4. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Is there a path here, Jim, where you get intrigued? Are we going to be led down another path? Like, are the Yankees going to fool us? Can they get back into the series?
Shut up, Joe Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, he hasn't even spoken yet.
He was speaking.
I just had to throw that out there.
Right. Are you like, could the Yankees win the next 2 games?
Yeah.
Could they win the next 3?
Yeah.
Could they win the next 4?
Yeah.
Oh, then they're going to win the World Series. It's easy.
Last time the Yankees were down 0-2 in the World Series, they came back and won 4 straight.
Last time the Yankees were down 0-2 in a World Series, they came back and won 4 straight?
Yeah. That was
Braves?
The Braves
98?
of 1996.
Okay. Did you know the last time the Yankees played the Dodgers in the World Series?
They lost the first 2 games of that series as
Did
well.
they? Is that accurate?
And they came back
and won the next 4?
And won that series.
Let's just say it.
Sure.
Okay. So we're saying that the series isn't over, even though it feels like it's over?
Tonight is a absolute must-win game for the Yankees. No question about it.
Yeah.
If they lose this game, it is over. If they win, series on, and the whole goal is just getting back to LA. I think I don't know the pitching matchups, but Garrett Cole might pitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So Garrett Cole's pitching game 6, 1 and 6.
I think 1 and 5. There was an off day. 1 and 5. There was an off day.
He pitched Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday would be game.
He pitched Friday
6.
or Saturday?
He pitched Friday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Those are your 4 off days. He pitches game 5. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 off days.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
You're not doing the game right.
No.
The way you lift your fingers up.
He pitched Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
game 5 is Wednesday.
But there's a game 5 tomorrow. Or no, game 4 tomorrow.
Isn't.
You're right. Sorry, my bad.
Watch it.
I hate it. Hate that you're right.
How are what's happening on the phone?
Shut up, Ken Rosenthal, you idiot.
Jim, are you okay?
No, sorry. I just get a visceral
Did
reaction.
You see how happy he was when Freeman hit that grand slam?
Oh, so happy.
He was just grinning ear to ear.
Joe Davis is giving fist pumps under the table. Ken Rosenthal's jumping up in the air.
So, I mean, is this like fool's gold?
What?
So we say with them, like, even if they get back to LA down 3-2, do they have any shot of winning the World Series?
Yeah, they do. Here's how they win the World Series.
They win 4 of the next 5 games.
They score more points than the Dodgers in 4 of the next 5 games.
Definitely.
And Aaron Judge will need to score a lot of points in these next couple games here, or else the Yankees are cooked.
Right. Okay.
Cooked. Aaron Judge cannot continue to go down the path of being like the level of Austin Hedges.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's been that good.
I mean, like it's they have Fat Joe out there singing. So they
pulled out all the stuff.
Yeah, Ice Cube sang on Saturday night. Did you see that?
I did.
Oh, that's right.
I was calling the Aztec game.
Ice Cube came out and sang before and performed before game 2, which was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. Now they got Fat Joe in New York.
Okay. What's next?
Well, I don't know.
What could be next?
But if Aaron Judge does not get it going here, this thing is over. Like it is.
Yeah, you got to score
first.
If you're the Yankees side, you can't afford to be tight. You got to score first.
And it's another example of, how I get frustrated a lot of times with like the play of Manny Machado in big moments in the postseason over the last 3 times they made the postseason, right? But he's had good regular seasons. Yankees fans could give two you-know-whats about Aaron Judge's regular seasons right now, because in the postseason, now Manny's been better than Aaron Judge. Judge has been awful, but it goes to the point of like, if you are going to make the postseason regularly, and that's what you hope here in San Diego, nobody's going to care about what you do in the regular season. They're only going to care about what you do in the postseason. And if you don't perform in the postseason, whatever you do for 162 isn't going to mean as much.
Not as much, I agree. And again, the truth is, and this is fair, it's different. The standards of the Yankees are different. They have 27 rings. The Padres don't. So it's not, everything isn't the same, even if you want it to be the same. Because the truth is the organizations and the franchises aren't the same. And it's the same thing with the Dodgers. They're not the same franchise. Now, to your point, you didn't pay Manny Machado to hit in the regular season solely. You paid him to hit and win in the postseason. And we gave you countless examples of guys that are quote unquote superstars that have come through in postseasons here recently. And unfortunately, Manny has not been that guy. But you're right on Judge. If they lose this World Series, it's not like, hey, Judge, what an amazing year. Nope. Can't wait to see you again next year. It's more like, what a disappointing postseason, and you better come through next time.
Oh, they are going to murder him on sports talk radio and on social media.
Right.
If he doesn't come through here like tonight, he needs to have a semi-good game. I mean, even if it's just 2 for 4 with a couple singles, like that's an improvement, for what he has been putting up there. I mean, he's John, we could do better than him right now.
Well, it's probably a stretch. I don't know if I'm 6 for 39 in the postseason.
Game 1, he had that meaningless hit. He had that meaningless hit in like the 8th inning, I think it was, or whatever.
How meaningless was it? It was like a 1-run game.
Well, didn't equate to anything.
Okay.
But you get my point, is that right
He's
now
gotta do better.
Aaron Judge looks completely lost at the plate, and he's got to have somewhat of a good game tonight, or
Well, they don't win the
this
World
one's
Series. He doesn't go 1 for 9 his next 9 at bats, and they win the World Series.
No.
Like their lineup is not the Dodgers lineup. It's not a good lineup other than like the top of their order. The top of the order is great, and then it falls off drastically, which means Aaron Judge has to be Arson Judge. Like he is
Arson Judge right now.
He's good. That's true. He's gonna have to hit in a big way. The thing with Judge is he's capable of the multiple home run games. He's capable of the 4 home runs in 4 game type situation. This postseason, you have the Dodgers score. Like top of the first inning, you have the Dodgers score. You got to score first. Change this series in Game 3. Now, what happened in Game 3? It's 1-1. Mets Dodgers heading to New York. They're just in New York, the Dodgers, a week ago. And then the Dodgers took control of the series by winning games 3 and 4. This is a must. Just got to have it for the Yankees. Otherwise, nobody's watching. If this gets to 3-0, that's just a disaster.
Storyline is the health of Shohei.
Yeah, he's wearing like a sling, right?
Subluxation. We know a lot about subluxations here in San Diego. On his shoulder. He's in the line tonight. How much does that affect him? You know, we've seen Toddy just sublux his shoulder by just swinging the bat.
Yeah.
Is that going to hurt Toddy? They're kind of down. They're not downplaying it. They're saying it's not bad at all. He's fine. Good to go. Maybe he is. But
Is he really fine?
He's not 100% that. So how much is that going to affect Otani? And Otani hasn't done really anything in this series. He had that double in Game 1 where the Yankees.
He had a massive moment.
But the Yankees had an error there that had him go to the third base, which if they don't commit that error,
they might win the game.
They might have won that game.
Yeah,
so
it was huge. So Alden Gonzalez, Shohei Ohtani came onto the field for introductions with a black sling on his left shoulder that was covered with his jacket. So remember, he's not in the field. He just has to take the sling off for 4 or 5 plate appearances, I guess. But he was wearing a sling on field in uniform, which to me is a little bit surprising. Like, okay, you're dealing with a shoulder injury, but you're in the lineup and wearing a sling prior to the game. I don't even know what that means. Are they? I don't know. Are they setting it up for him to play hero again? Like Freddie Freeman? Like Gibson? Oh my gosh, Ohtani from sling to hero in Game 3, right?
Like, if Ohtani goes out there and hits a home run first
oh
at
my
bat.
gosh. It's never happened. Nobody's ever had a sling.
Give me a break.
And then don't you think that that's what they're setting up?
It's like,
could you imagine that call from Joe Davis?
Oh,
if Ohtani homers tonight?
I can't even imagine. Like the Joe Davis and Ken Rosenthal have made me think the Yankees are bearable.
Like big underdogs.
Like it makes
the little
me,
engine.
Yeah, it makes me think the Yankees are this underdog team. The way that Fox and the way that Joe Davis and John Smoltz, shut the hell up, dude. Stop. You don't have to explain every single little thing during every single pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let it breathe, my guy. Let it breathe. That's what the best do. That's what who was Joe Buck's color?
Was it Verducci?
No, not Verducci.
Who did color for Joe Buck? McCarver.
McCarver, yeah. Just like let it breathe, my guy.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk every second. You can let things around you happen without talking about it.
Now, what did Joe Davis's home run sound like to you?
Which one?
The Grand Slam.
I thought it was obviously a callback to Vin Scully.
Yeah, can you emulate it? I don't even know
it was. What was it? It was. Well, I mean, look, he copied Vin, so he didn't use. Now he did. He goes. Gimme, meet Freddie, World Series, Game 1.
That is really good.
I thought the ending of that didn't make any sense.
What was the ending?
That was the ending. I
thought he started it with that.
No, I said it word for word.
That was Gibby, meet
Drive
Freddie.
to right. She is gone. Gibby, meet Freddie. World Series Game 1.
Are you saying comparing Gibson to Freeman made no sense?
No, that's the exact call.
No, I know, but are you saying comparing? I understand.
Yes.
But are you saying it made no sense for him to make the comp?
No, it a little bit. Also, like he could have. I mean, a lot of times you probably know this better than anybody. Like sometimes less is more. And the place
Yes,
you don't.
yeah.
You're
Relax.
not on radio.
You're right. Let it breathe.
Let it breathe, dude.
Right, like the Benetti way, which is like you don't
Yeah.
talk for a minute.
If he stopped the call at "she is gone,"
Done. Perfect.
or if he went, "she is gone," and then let it breathe,
Yeah, and then like a minute later,
follow up with "Dodgers win game 1 in a classic," or something along those lines. But he just like went to the cringe, like you're comparing this to Kurt Gibson, who had a pitch
who was
hit
like, cold off the bench, unavailable.
that ended up not playing the rest of the series. That was his only at bat.
Yeah, just like Freeman.
And you're it's like, stop, dude, stop. That's why people don't like you on the broadcast, is because you come off as like,
do people not
cringy,
like him?
And also,
on the other side,
it doesn't help. It does not help that he is the home broadcaster of the Dodgers. I think that hurts him a lot. I think that hurts him a lot.
All right, we're going to hear from Luis Arraez coming up. He is at Yankee Stadium for Game 3, plus Jim's back page, plus Aztec basketball tickets for Wednesday. We'll give away. It's Jon and Jim. All right, what if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer. If you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto's got rates with APRs in the low fives, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Huge money. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis or their express equity lines of credit. So call now. Get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today and you won't payment until 2025. LoanPronto.com or 619-207-4336. LoanPronto.com. Free rate quote now, 619-207-4336. NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. All right, World Series Game 3 is underway. And in a remarkable, hold on, let me just say, in one of the great moments in baseball, modern baseball history, Shohei Ohtani, essentially with one arm, walked. It was incredible. 4 pitches out of the zone, and he walked. What do you got?
The World Series, I've been seeing on social media too. Dude, remember the cameras they're using? Oh my God. For the home runs that have been hit, they're showing this like 10K or whatever, like view behind the pitcher, and it's like slow mo, and then like speeds up, and like you know what I'm talking about, right? I know exactly what you're talking about. The cameras they have, they're incredible. They're incredible.
No, they presented it well. I do think they presented it well, and I think they're in it. Everyone's in it for a good series, and there's no guarantee in that sports. It may be an awful. Now, Game 1, of course, is going to be remembered for a long time.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Yankees doing anything, like winning a game, there's no guarantee of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I hate the Dodgers, and I'm not a Yankees fan, but I do have to say that the jersey matchup is pretty elite. It's
clean.
It's a clean.
Yeah,
it's an
clean.
elite jersey matchup because Dodgers, Yankees, they haven't changed their jerseys in forever. Like these are the same jerseys they've worn.
I have no idea.
Since the
time.
Dodgers.
Any real change? Like real? Of course, there's been changes. Like oh my gosh, they're showing Ohtani run.
I'm sure they're embellishing it on the broadcast.
They just showed a replay of him like jogging. Okay. Wait, is that what's the injured arm?
It's the left arm, yeah.
He's like holding his jersey with his left arm.
That's
a strike, dude.
That's a strikeout.
I'm out of here. The script is. I read the script. That is as clear as day.
How do you not call that? It's right down
How
the
in
freaking
the
middle.
World Series can you miss that?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Meanwhile, they're talking. I'm glad we're not listening to it because I'm sure that they're just like Ohtani's miracle man over there.
Yeah, and then at least after that, I was gonna freak out if Betts like homered after that. He didn't. Thank the Lord.
Oh my goodness.
So do we have to Luis Arraez, or do we want to play coming up at 5:30? We want to play it here. This is Luis Arraez. Now, is this the Fox pregame or MLB Network?
This is the Fox pregame show.
All right, so this is Luis Arraez. Listen to what he says for one of his goals in terms of hits in a season. All right, this is Luis Arraez earlier.
It's so much fun to watch your game come together. 3 years, 3 different teams, 3 batting titles. Going into game 162 this year, you're sitting at 199 hits. How much are you thinking about that going into the game? How much do you set goals as far as how many hits you want to put up in a season?
Oh, at the season, I wanna get 300 every year. But thanks God, I got 200 hits this year too. I got two years in a round. And then I enjoy a lot San Diego. I was a little scared in my last game. And then I say, I need to finish hard. I need to finish strong. And then when I hit the ball to the guy, I say, I did it. I got my another batting title. And I want to say thanks God for that.
Well, Luis, I saw you all year doing it. But when you got to San Diego, you took it to a different level. Show everybody what you have right here.
Oh.
Hey? How difficult was it to deal with that and at the same time have your presence in the lineup for the team?
That was hard. That was before the All-Star game. I want to play in the All-Star game because my dad, my mom, my family was with me. And then I want to bring them to Texas. And then I say, hey, Mom, I don't go there and play because I need to rest a little bit because I want to finish my season with San Diego. And then my mom say, hey, son, go there and enjoy and then get back strong. And then I say, okay, now I prepare my mind to get ready. And then I feel a lot of pain in my thumb, but I say it's mentally. I just want to go there and enjoy and try to do the little thing to help the team win.
Hey, how do you determine? Because we're seeing that in the postseason right now. You're seeing Freddie, who's having to play hurt. You're seeing Ohtani playing hurt. How do you determine if your injury is going to hurt the team or if you're still good enough to where you're better than the next best option?
For me, it's all job. Baseball is hard, and it's hard when you make the team to go to the World Series or the playoff. it's not every day when you play in the playoff. You know, you don't got too many chances. You don't got too many opportunity. And if I got the opportunity to play the World Series right now, I go play. You know, so I go enjoy.
You'd hurt your leg as well in the last couple of days. Now it never came out at that point. So yeah, you have to make that determination. You did do that again.
Turn this off.
All right, update from Yankee Stadium. That was Luis Arraez.
But it is interesting hearing him talk about,
yeah, it's great.
His
kidding. What's he say? Like, stop.
Okay, whatever.
Freddie Freeman is homered in all 3 World Series games. He's actually homered in 5 straight, dating back to 2021. The Ohtani walk followed by a Freeman 1-out home run. It's 2-0 Dodgers in the first inning.
Want to walk anybody?
2-0 Dodgers in the first inning. What did I say? Don't allow a first inning run. Don't fall behind.
It's over.
Is this thing over?
It's over.
Is tonight over at 2-0 at the top of the first?
Bro, the series is over.
Gosh.
Dude, like I said, you can't lose a World Series game on a walk-off grand slam.
Right. They just showed an interesting stat. NLDS, NLCS. Freeman, 0 extra base hits. DSCS, he was dealing with the ankle. Still is.
Well,
he's now had 4.
Didn't he hit like 350 against the Padres?
I guess with all singles.
But my point is, like, he's had a fantastic postseason for them, even with the bum ankle that Joe Davis wants to desperately use as a tie-in to.
What was that call right there?
Oh, what was that call, Brett? Can we rewind that to hear this call of?
Do we want to all puke?
Freddie Freeman's.
Well, I need to hear it now.
It's along the lines of like,
Freddie, meet the Bronx
again. Oh my.
The
underdog gimpy Dodgers.
No, dude,
come
you're
out
like
striking first. Come out swinging first.
Yeah, Freeman strikes in New York.
Yeah, Dodgers strike first in Game 3.
Yeah,
2-0. Something along.
Okay,
those
here we go.
lines.
Let's listen to this.
Oh, jeez, this is gonna be just cringe.
Top on that pitch. It is a fastball. It's ripped down the line. It is gone. A 5th consecutive World Series game with a Freddie Freeman home run. And the Dodgers are on the board first in Game 3.
You kind of got half of that.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah. He didn't go over the top.
No.
He must have seen the script.
Script is set.
Jeez. That's only 2 runs.
It's fine.
It's not the biggest deficit ever.
It's only 2, guys.
It's only 2 runs.
It's only 2.
Or is it more? Okay, it's 2.
It's only 2. It's only 2. It's only 2. Oh, boy.
All right. On the other side, we'll give away Aztec men's basketball tickets for Wednesday night. Also, a big night in the NFL. And we'll share why on the other side, plus Jim's back page. That's next.
All right, this update is brought to you by the Jim Petrell Real Estate Team. Dodgers-Yankees Game 3 from the Bronx underway. Dodgers have an early 2-0 lead thanks to a Freddie Freeman 2-run shot in the top of the first. Dodgers also have a 2-0 series lead there. Moving over to the Aztecs, they take on Boise State this Friday in Boise, 5 p.m. kickoff. You can listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. And other news in baseball over the weekend, Jackson Merrill. He was named the MLB PA NL Rookie of the Year. Would you like to know what your home would sell for today? Get a simple text message with your home's value by texting your address to 855-600-6000. You'll get no phone call, just a text. Jim Petrell has the buyer. Simply text your address to 855-600-6000.
All right, we do have Aztec men's basketball tickets for an exhibition at the House Arena on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. against San Marcos to give away. And we'll do that coming up in the next 10 minutes or so. We do have Jim's backstage, the update from the Bronx. 2-0 Dodgers, although the Yankees do a leadoff bet on it first. 2-0 bottom one. Dodgers strangle the series for 4 games at Yankee Stadium. All entertainment.
Like Jim's an idiot, or I hate listening to you guys.
Yeah, basically.
Or your guys are whining.
No. It's more me.
The Dodgers.
I think it's probably more me.
Okay.
760. You guys criticized the Padres in management. What just happened here, Jim?
What did just happen?
You guys criticized the Padres in management, calling for change. Saturday's loss to Washington State, or as he calls it, lose. Saturday's lose to Washington State was a debacle! ! So weak! ! I'll entertain it because you've just created 10 minutes of content for us.
Thank you.
First of all, you can't be further off base in this one. San Diego State's a 15-point dog that absolutely had chances to win the game. Shawn Lewis said as much post-game. He said it again today during his weekly press conference. Absolutely, they could have / should have won the game.
They were 15-point dogs?
15-point dogs.
I thought they were... Okay, never mind.
No, yeah, 14.5, whatever.
Okay.
Led by 12 in the fourth quarter, John Mateer, really talented quarterback for Washington State, made some plays. Danny O'Neal, freshman quarterback, threw a pick in a tough spot there late. True freshman quarterback. You figured at some point there'd be a moment like that, and they end up losing the game 29-26. Hold on, let me watch Juan Soto.
Fly out to left.
Yeah. So I don't understand. You guys criticize the Padres calling for change. Well, A, we're not doing that now. Change what? They changed. They just changed.
Yeah.
And they're showing progress. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? And again, I'll be the first to say it. I'm biased. But this reminds me of like the Andy Green "we're coming" press conference. I watched San Diego State lose a game like that to Washington State, and I'm not left thinking like, oh, man, there goes the season. I'm left thinking they've gotten better, and they're putting themselves in positions to win football games. And I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, but I do know that honestly, watching them play makes me more optimistic than anything else because I'm seeing a team that's getting better.
So I watched
5 minutes of the game.
No. I watched like 95% of the game on Saturday night. And the one thing that I took away from the game is that I loved the way that Shawn Lewis coached that game from a standpoint of kitchen sink. Here it is.
Yeah, fake punts. Wide receivers are throwing passes.
You're essentially a 15-point dog at home. You're not going to win if you play the conventional style of game.
Right.
You're going to need to switch it up.
I like
You're
that.
going to need to take some risks, and you're going to honestly need to hit on those risks to win. He had an onside kick to start the second half.
That's right.
They didn't recover.
That's a great point.
But it was a move that to me screamed aggressive. We need to continue to put our foot on the gas pedal and try things that are unconventional to win this game. And yeah, they should have won the game. But like you said, Danny O'Neal, he had the blitz from the left side. He had to get it away quickly, and he didn't see the linebacker there, and he made a mistake. But I think overall, from the fake punt to the wide receiver pass to the onside kick to the going forward on fourth down, like there were a lot of moves in this game that when I was watching, said to myself, dude, he's throwing the kitchen sink at these guys, and it almost paid off. And yeah, it's a bummer that they lost, but you're happy that the style of coaching that he had in that game was the way it was.
And they're progressing. And here's the thing: Danny O'Neal left the game for a quarter. Like, you didn't know if Danny O'Neal, your starting quarterback, was going to return I don't even know what it was. Upper body, something, but he returned, thankfully.
They said it was like a
stinger?
Like a chest injury or something?
Okay. Well, he left. Your backup comes in. I mean, this isn't the game. Like, my takeaway after this game is like, how can you not beat Washington State at home? Like, what are you talking about? Washington State is like a playoff contender. They're a legit. They're probably going to go 11-1. If you look at what they have to come, this is probably their toughest game remaining. Yeah. They'll likely go 11-1. They'll likely finish top 15. They're 22nd right now in the AP poll. You had them on the ropes, didn't finish the game. Okay, fair. You want to win the game. There's no question about that. And we'll see. Listen, Boise State this weekend, let's not kid ourselves. It's not easy. Boise State is truly one of the best teams in America right now. But is there a path to 6 wins? I still think it's there. I do. With New Mexico and Air Force and Utah State. In fact, after this past weekend, I'm like cautiously optimistic that they can pull that off.
I mean, it's a game that on paper they were always expected to lose.
Right.
If you're going to be upset as an Aztec fan now with what, 7 games in?
I don't think this guy is an Aztec fan.
No,
would be my guess.
He's probably an Aztec troll.
Right.
Like he's probably and you're like, well, you criticize the Padres. The Padres also are a professional team.
Yeah.
The Aztecs are a college football program.
It was picked to finish 8th in the Mountain West.
Right.
Yeah, he's not. I looked at his previous messages.
He's not an Aztec fan.
No, he's a troll.
He's a troll.
He's a troll.
Right.
But I mean, it would have been easily by far and away the signature win of the Shawn Lewis era here at San Diego State.
Yeah.
Which I was bummed about. Like,
Me too.
I wanted it to be that win where you're like, all right, that's something to really build off for your program. You beat not a top 25 school, but a school that was in the running and still is now.
Well, now they're 22nd.
Okay, so but before the game,
they were 26th coming in,
and they still had a very good path to make it to the college football playoff.
Yeah,
it's a bummer they lost, but I think there's a lot of good things in that game. There's a lot of good things in that game that you can look at as
it's so funny how people are. There's so and by the way, it's not just the texter. And by the way, this is probably the vocal minority, but it's so funny how people are coming out of a game like that. If your initial takeaway, in fact, I replied to someone on social media, probably stupidly. Someone's like, at John Schaefer, this defense is an absolute joke. It's no surprise they lost the game. I'm like, what are you talking about? Washington State averaged 40 points per game. You held them to 29. Washington State averaged like 500 yards per game. You held them over 100 yards per game below their average. Like if you're so people go so far off you're so far out there in left field. It's one thing to say, man, I wish they won that game because they positioned themselves to do it. I think that's fair to be like, this defense was awful. What game were you watching? The defense wasn't awful. Defense gave them a chance to win. So did the offense. Gave them a chance to win. They didn't win it, unfortunately. We'll see if that changes down the stretch in the final 5 games of the regular season.
Yeah, I thought they played well. You know, there was a lot of times in that game. It didn't feel like I'm not gonna say we're in control of that game, but it didn't feel like they weren't fighting an uphill battle the entire time.
Yeah, no, they did. I think for about 15 minutes they felt in control. They went up 12 with about 13 minutes left, and that's where the game flipped. The big play, the Mateer looked like they had him down on a sack. He escaped. He ran for 20 yards. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was massive. And there was also a ball when they were down 28-16 or whatever the score was. When they were down by 12, that 50-50 ball, Brenner, on the sideline where it went like in and out of the arms of Chris Johnson, it was caught. Yep. But they're a good team, and they've got an NFL wide receiver in Kyle Williams, and they've got like a top 10 Heisman guy in John Mateer.
And they were favored by 14.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
and by the way, it doesn't get easier. Ashton Genty, guess what? He's good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really good.
I'm just looking at the stats for that game. Okay, so they outgained them in total yards. They had more passing yards. They had more rushing yards.
Even in turnovers.
Even in turnovers. Time of possession was pretty much even. Actually, it was almost dead even.
Mm-hmm.
The only like big discrepancy was the yards per pass was 9.5 for Washington, only 6.9 for San Diego State. But if you look at these numbers here, like
comparable,
both teams 5 for 12 on third down for Washington State, 5 for 14 for San Diego State, 4th down for Washington State, 1 for 3, 4th down for San Diego State, 1 for 2.
Right.
Like it was an even game,
really even
all the way through. They held their own. They should have won the game, but a true freshman quarterback just made a mistake. That I'm not going to say that cost them the game, but that was the mistake that you just couldn't make there. And unfortunately, he made it.
Yeah. And again, could you still win the game with him throwing that pick there? Yeah. I mean, it was more than one play. Watching that fourth quarter, it was more than one play, but we'll see. And again, I think if you've been watching all year and you don't think this team is progressing, then you're watching different games than I am. Because I've watched every single snap because I'm calling the games. They're getting better.
They had a wide receiver, a linebacker, their second string quarterback come in because of Daniel's injury. But
they had injuries everywhere.
Yeah, I mean they unloaded it. The clip. They threw the kitchen sink at Washington State, which I love. I love the aggressiveness of Shawn Lewis on Saturday night.
No, I agree.
Honestly, in the past, I don't know if you're getting that from an Aztec head coach.
No, I agree with you. All right, Jim's back page is on the other side. This is Jon and Jim. Halloween is back. Listen to Halloween Radio on the iHeartRadio app. Commercial-free spooky hits, great throwbacks, and Halloween anthems. Just search Halloween Radio on the free iHeartRadio app and start listening now. Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere. Whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home, just after you or less smart speaker. To play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one. San Diego Sports 760 goes where you go. Get ready for Friday Night Lights, Aztec style this week when the Aztecs go on the road to face Boise State. Pre-game with Fletch and JR starts at 3. John and Rich have the kick at 5. San Diego State, Boise State this Friday night on your home of the Aztecs, San Diego Sports 760.
You say that like that's news to you. Did you not know that you work at 5 on Friday?
It says 7.
Oops.
All this week, win a 4-bet. No, I'm not going to do it. Jeez. The worst radio ever. Just read all
so that was
liners.
really long. We'll be done by the time you're done reading that.
Oh,
one.
my gosh.
That was,
Hold on. I'm looking at something interesting here. So the old Yankee Stadium, how many World Series were played at the old Yankee Stadium?
well, 9 at Ebbets Field, John.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to say 15, 20.
15, 20.
15, 20.
Yeah, how about 37?
Okay, 37.
Okay. 104 World Series games have been played in the Bronx.
Is that a lot?
Wow.
That's freaking long.
That's
man.
a lot.
Miss old Yankee Stadium. That stadium had like the vibe of like big like World Series. This new Yankee Stadium just, I mean, look how many empty seats there are behind the home dugout because tickets are like $2,000 a pop.
At least it's not USC Rutgers. Did you see the pics from that game?
That was bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
No, we're not reading it. It's too good. But
No. I want to read it. I want to read it from our resident troll 760 number.
No, why?
Because it's funny.
Too easy.
No, it is. I mean, but I don't care. It's funny.
Yeah, I know, so it makes
it's
so
it's
easy.
funny because he thinks, or she thinks that they're getting under our skin. Who gives a rat's ass about Dodgers and World Series?
Which isn't a sentence, but okay.
Yeah. You guys
all caps
need to go back to college and kern what journalism and sports journalism is all about.
What is Kern about?
It's not about kissing the butt.
You have to go to college and find out.
The SDSU admins so you can get athletes and coaches to do interviews. Go listen to Boston sports radio journalists. They don't sugarcoat anything.
Hey, 760. We're not journalists.
We're not journalists,
sports
you
talk radio
moron.
hosts. I mean, what are you talking about? I love people like, we don't have an obligation to anything other than our listeners, which in theory you count in.
You do count in it.
Just keep listening and keep trolling us. All right, let's get to it. What?
Hey,
what
live in Kern.
Yeah, what are we going to kern today from you, Jim?
Well,
we always kern so much.
You do kern a lot, actually. It is Monday, so you know what that means, right?
It means you're a great journalist.
A great journalist. I strive to be the farthest thing
The
from
last
a
thing I
journalist.
would ever call you is a journalist.
Yeah, I'm not a journalist.
Yeah.
No crumble cookies of the week.
Okay, no crumble cookies of the week?
No, I said
no comma.
Like no
cookies?
comma. What we talk about on Mondays is crumble cookies of the week.
How about you stop sucking up to crumble cookie and start holding them accountable for their sugar count?
Hey, Crumble, can we get a sponsorship going here?
Yeah,
What's going on?
otherwise we're going to start calling you out.
We're gonna call
Boston sports journalists don't
Call
kiss
out
the butt of
crumble
cookie
cookies.
companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe we should not be like that.
Right.
Here are the new crumble cookies of the week.
Okay. It's got to be Halloween themed.
It is Halloween.
Okay.
Thing. We have just a semi-sweet chocolate chunk.
Standard.
Peanut butter featuring Reese's Pieces cookie.
Yes.
Sign
Yep.
me up.
Sign us up.
The Blue Monster cookie featuring Chips Ahoy.
That sounds amazing.
A pumpkin cake cookie.
Okay.
Halloween cake batter blondie.
Mm.
And a dirt cake with gummy worms on top.
Kristen would like that. I like a good batter, just in general.
Oh, yeah.
I like a good batter.
I do like a good batter.
Which, you know who doesn't have a good batter? The New York Yankees.
Because they all suck.
What else you have?
Sonic's is releasing its new winter drink menu starting on November 4th.
Is it Sonic's?
Sonic, sorry. Sonic is releasing a new winter drink menu starting on November 4th. Here are the drinks.
Okay.
A buttery brew root beer.
Okay.
A sparkling sugar cookie Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, it sounds healthy.
And a red velvet cake batter shake.
Oh my gosh.
I need to know the
Speaking
sugar.
of sugar.
I need the sugar count on all
Dude,
that.
That's
Oh
like
my-
record sugar.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is through the roof.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd eat any of. I don't know if I drink any of those.
No, maybe a sip.
I would.
Just to
I would try
taste it. I would try
actually
it.
try it, but there is 0%
One
chance
sip.
of me finishing any
No
of those.
way.
Yeah. Taco Bell, John. On October 31st,
Halloween.
Yeah, I've talked about this already. Hey, Yankees.
Jeez.
Are you guys going to make it a series or make Walker Buehler look like he's a good pitcher? Taco Bell is dropping on October 31st. I've talked about this before. Their new decades menu.
Okay.
Taco Bell is taking us through the decades with their retro menu that includes the caramel apple empanada. The best part is that all the items are under $3, and they'll have special decade cups to really get the retro feel. Here's some items on the Taco Bell decades menu. The 1960s tostada, the 1980s green burrito, the 1990s beef gordita supreme, the caramel apple empanada, available starting on November 21st. The 1980s Meximelt and Meximelt, and then the special medium decade cups also with your order.
And did you say the cost is like
under $3?
All under $3. So it's kind of like 80s pricing.
Yeah, it's like retro. So
okay.
There you go. And Wendy's dropped a new Rocky Road Overload cup. It is a chocolate frosty, then topped with caramelized walnuts, soft marshmallows, and chocolate sauce. You down for that, John?
No, not necessarily.
It's a Rocky Road Frosty Overload. It's back.
Wendy's and their Frosties is kind of like that person that goes and buys like that $2 frozen pizza, and then he puts like $13 of ingredients on top of it to make it better. It's like,
right.
okay, we're gonna take our plain basic ass Frosty, which look I love, but and then we're just gonna put some pecans and stuff inside of it. Go look, now it's fall like.
So yeah,
those are the big items.
Those are the big items, John.
Big stories everyone's talking about out there on the streets of San Diego.
Yeah, I had one more here. I lost it though. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Okay, save that for tomorrow. That's a reason to listen.
It has to do with KFC. So
wow,
be ready for that.
Stay in your car.
Yeah, don't leave your car ever.
Is this like a McDonald's thing? Should we not go to KFC until we hear the news from you tomorrow?
Probably.
Maybe not.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Okay.
KFC is releasing new $5 original recipe tenders boxes. KFC just unveiled its latest offering, the all-new original recipe tenders, a twist on their classic flavor. These tenders are hand-battered in the iconic original recipe blend of 11 herbs and spices, an upgrade from the extra crispy breading used previously. Customers can try them as part of a combo meal or enjoy a 3-piece box starting at just $5, starting now at KFC.
Wonderful. What do you say we do this again tomorrow?
How about we do it again tomorrow, and then we do it again the day after, and then I'll do it again the day after that, and then we won't do anything on Friday.
Because we have Aztecs Boise State.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow we're not talking about
a 3-0 Dodgers lead in the World
Series.
Series.
Where we all want to not be talking about that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Dodgers are leading right now 2-0 in the third inning.
It's over.
So I hope if you missed anything today, congratulations. Or you go to sportssd.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. If you'd like to follow us on social media, I think it's good. At Jon Jim, JONAND, follow us right now on X. We'll follow you back. Right now. Follow us right now. We'll follow you back.
Follow right now.
Right now. Jon and Jim.
Right now.
JONANDJIM. We're not kidding. Follow us right now. We'll follow you back at Jon and Jim. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. We are back tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Okay, bye.
Bye.